Flagrant Dose, baby. We in Miami.
Flagrante.
Hey, bro, what's our theme song, Akash?
The heat is on all night of the day to the break of dawn. Welcome to Miami.
Hey.
And we back, okay? We started the podcast about 2 hours ago, but your boy got a little drunk. I was on that Terramana. I don't know what the fuck happened. I started explaining AMC, GameStop, short this. I'll give you something short. Wait, what?
What?
My dick.
Oh, thank you,
shit.
Akash,
Thank you.
for
I
saving
got
me.
you.
Dude, legend. Hey, hit that wide so they can see the studio out.
Shit is so fire, dog.
Hey,
this shit
hey,
is so fire.
Hey, bro.
Fuego?
Are we top two?
No, we ain't
No,
two.
no. Are we top two?
Yeah.
Meaning like we 1 and 2.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
We're 1 and 2.
Oh, we 1 and 2.
This is 1 and 2. Dove
one
is
and
even
two.
in the building.
Yeah, new
Dove-
Taylor.
Dove lined it up, bruh.
He really did. bro.
Taylor
We not
2.0.
here without Dove.
Do we have Taylor 2? Do we have Taylor 2.0? We got Taylor 2.0.
Yeah.
Doesn't take notes, just sits down, truffles.
Yeah.
You even got a
Shalom.
mic, bro. Miles been working for us for half a year. Did a Netflix special. He don't even get a mic. He said, "Get the USB cam."
You
We
took
got
my
an
little
important
sister
interview.
to prom.
did take
I
her
get the
to prom.
mic.
That's all. That's all I did. Is take her to prom.
Yeah, that seems like
Nothing else.
that's a
Like a
shitty
gentleman.
All
trade,
that
bro.
happened.
Nothing else,
That
bro.
trade is not worth it, dog.
Like a
You don't
gentleman.
think so?
Nah.
I was a gentleman with your sister. bro.
Probably because she looked like Dove. Ain't nobody trying to fuck Dove.
Golly.
Put my sister on screen when this
yes.
podcast lands. My sister
Let's actually do this.
is fire.
Yo, you know what's mad
Let's
funny
actually
about
do
this?
that.
You can't be angry at that because then it insults you.
I know.
That's
That's
fine.
the beauty
The
of it.
perfect
It's the
deal.
beauty of
But
it.
I'm a good
and I've
brother.
never seen her.
Put my sister
How am I
on
insulting
screen
her by
right
saying
now.
she looks like you?
Nah, son.
Put it
I
on.
don't think you want to.
Put it
Yo,
on.
don't put her out there for the family. She's married, bro. She got kids. Does she have kids?
They love the attention. It's okay.
Nah,
The
nah,
comments
nah,
about me
nah,
crazy.
nah.
We're playing The Bachelor with all Dove's family. Let's go.
Oh, that actually is not a bad idea, bro. You got some pieces in your family, dude.
Word. Thank you.
That's
Honestly,
disrespectful because he's seen your family.
It's not disrespectful. Your mom's a beautiful woman.
Beautiful.
Beautiful woman.
Oh, shit. Let's pull up a picture.
Stop it, yo. Ever since we got to Miami, Akash got crazy, bro. You got something in your loins down here, dog.
Hey, bro.
You've been a horny kid.
I've been a horny.
You've been horny ever
Yeah.
since we got down
Yo,
here, dog.
mad horny.
I think it's the climate. I think in this climate, yo, your girl getting pregnant.
I can't wait, dog.
Guaranteed.
I can't wait.
Before we leave here, she pregnant.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm
You
ready,
out? You
dog.
where you living again?
When in Rome, you know what I mean? When around the Latins, do as the Latins.
Bro,
Get girls
there's
pregnant.
2 billion Indians.
Yeah, that's good.
Y'all
stuff.
do it.
Hey, chill. Why you being disrespectful?
I'm just saying, there's like 100,000 Puerto Ricans out there. There's 2 billion Indians. Y'all
All
be
right,
making all the kids.
don't bring up good points.
Shit.
motherfucker.
Shit. All right. Welcome to Flagrant Dose. You know, we're out here. Listen, like I said, we started the podcast a little while ago and then we had to run it back. Okay. A lot of things we need to talk about. A lot of times, a lot of things have changed in the last couple hours.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's some big news out there. Number one, obviously, we're going to talk about the whole GameStop situation.
Yup.
Okay. Matter of fact, we already had the conversation with the most flagrant Wall Street expert that probably exists
In history.
in history.
He is flagrant finance.
He is flagrant finance. You might have known him. You might have seen a movie made about him, starring a strapping young gentleman named, should I give away the name?
No.
Because really right now there's only 2 movies that he could
Yeah.
be thinking about.
They might think it's Steve Carell in The Big Short.
That's also true.
We talked to Steve
3
Carell.
movies. There's 3 movies that this man could be about. Okay, it's Wall Street, Wolf of Wall Street,
Yeah.
and The Big Short.
Yeah, could be
Okay.
Gordon Gekko. Who knows?
It could be Gordon Gex, whose son is riddled with the HIV.
Really?
Word?
Yo, isn't Charlie Sheen?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Gordon. Yeah, but that's not his son. That's not his son in the movie or in real life. I don't know what's
It ain't?
happening. No.
Nah, you just said
I
some
thought
random
Kirk
guy.
Douglas is not Kirk
That's
Douglas.
his like protege in the movie, but that's not his son.
No, in real life, that's his son. Charlie
That's
Sheen.
Martin Sheen's son,
That's the
dog.
same guy, bro. Stop acting like they're different, bro.
Like, what?
Nah.
Two guys could not be more different.
Hey, in Miami, we're doubling down. They all got AIDS, buddy.
You can't just start claiming people have
Come on, you
AIDS, bro.
cannot be that homophobic on the podcast.
No,
yo.
one has
he-
throat
oh.
cancer and one has the HIV.
We
Yo.
call AIDS throat
Yeah,
cancer,
that's
Duff.
throat-
When
yeah.
did you not know that? What do you think these gays
Yeah.
was doing in
You never-
San Francisco?
You never been to throated.com?
Come on. A glory hole is for one thing.
Yeah.
What do you call HIV?
Huh? We call it the hymn.
Well, one has the him.
Okay, fair enough. Point is,
Asian flu.
Has that been said? That's hilarious. Has that not been said?
I don't think so.
Bro, with the amount of buttons we got unbuttoned on this show, we probably all sick with that shit. Positive tests
Yeah.
Oh man,
Like Akash's pregnancy test he's about to take.
in a month
can't wait.
or 2 months. What part of Florida you staying in?
Hollywood.
Hollywood, Florida.
Yep.
Hollywood.
That's what
Akash.
that's
Hollywood,
what Akash
baby.
has.
I'm Hollywood.
Yo,
He's
you
got
went-
that Hollywood, baby.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
shit.
Wait a minute.
I like it.
Holy is a holiday.
Uh-huh.
Indian holiday.
Yup.
What
Yeah.
do you celebrate on Holy?
Blasting shit all over people's faces.
There
Let's
we
go, baby.
That's what I'm talking about, Mark. Way to put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, LeBron James, baby. We're Cleveland.
We're transitioning to LeBron stories. It's
go.
going down. We're on a different level. Mark is coked up
He's
down
still at
here.
home, baby. He's still at home.
Look, so we're gonna talk about obviously GameStop, all that shit later. There's been big news, man. We're gonna talk about LeBron. Obviously, we're gonna talk about LeBron.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, we're gonna talk about all the ex-Patriot players saying that we were right and that
Yup.
the Patriot way is
Tom
the
Brady.
Tom Brady way. It's not the Belichick way. Obviously, we're gonna
What a
talk
great
about
call
that.
that was by you.
Honestly, it seems like the goats just go to Florida. That's all I'm saying. Dove, off of your phone. You're almost on camera.
It's crazy. I did not know Chappelle was here. That's wild.
Damn. Maybe that's where he got the COVID. It makes sense.
Oh,
But
man.
in all seriousness,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Tom Brady goes down to Florida. We come down to
Yup,
Florida.
yup.
We doing good work.
Yup.
We doing good
We
work.
killing it, yo.
Maybe we start out with a story about our next president.
Oh, shit. You think so, huh?
I mean, if you're stepping
It makes
down
a lot of sense.
from the most successful company in the history of companies,
Yep. Yep.
there's no reason for you to step down.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing going on. Your life is easy. You got a divorce. You're tagging this new chick. You got way more money after the divorce. Everything has worked out perfectly for you.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to love Amazon, despite the fact that it's clearly a monopoly.
Yeah.
But you've convinced the American public that it's not because we're getting shit for cheap, even though you're
Free,
killing
fast.
your competition.
Oh, yeah.
Super free, super fast. Matter of fact, thank you for the wallpaper. Killed it with that.
Yep.
That Maui leaf. Is it Maui leaf?
Maui leave.
Maui leaf.
Uh-huh.
Son.
You even had enough for Mark's shirt. Mark made a whole button down out of the wall. Get it, Mark. Mark thought we were going to Australia. He had no clue that Miami's in Florida.
Crocodile Dundee over here.
That's what you call a knife.
Wait a minute.
yeah.
Wait a minute.
That is what you call a knife.
Point is, Bezos is stepping down from Amazon. And I can't think of any other reason besides he thinks there's going to be a vacancy no, he thinks there's going to be a potential, not a vacancy, but he thinks there's going to be potential for another outsider to win the presidency.
I love it. I'm not even a big Bezos guy, but I love it. You need to run the government like a cutthroat company.
Do you though?
I don't know if you do.
I
bro.
kind of think you don't.
You need
I
to.
think are you sure? That's
if you
literally
wanna
what
talk
Trump
about-
did. Trump is like, I'm just going to support the people who buy things at my business. And then half the country was like, we don't like that.
My brain freaked out because it sounded like you were making a good point, and it just kind of stopped thinking for a second.
Yeah.
But here's what I'm saying.
was that a good point?
I don't know. It sounded. You,
think
you
that was a
pointed the
good-ass
knife at me.
point.
I got flustered.
Everyone's
Pointing
making
a
good
knife
points. Yeah.
Son, that shit is.
At a non-white
Son,
is so much fun.
Oh,
talk about
yeah.
a point. You pointing a point.
But I'm just saying, like, usually,
What happens if you smash them together? Does it make the...
well, let's try.
Let's go. Oh, that's a knife.
That shit is fire, dog.
Real.
Son,
Yo, if you're listening to this podcast, step your game up, bro. You know what I mean? I mean, don't stop because those are great too. But also YouTube, you get to see all this, the new set. You might see Dove's foot pop into the wide every once in a while. We haven't given him a camera just yet, though. He might be earning his keep. The point being,
I mean, he offered up his sisters to be on the podcast.
and his own mother, beautiful woman. Beautiful woman.
This guy's desperate for the limelight.
Stunning.
He'll do anything.
I would even say stunning. I would
Really?
even say,
Thank you.
I would even say,
Put them on screen. I vouch
I
for
would
that.
even
Oh my
say,
gosh.
a smoke, a show.
Word.
Whoa.
I would even say, a smoke, a show.
Madre.
Madre, sorellas.
Is she in Miami?
Whoa, whoa, ow,
geez.
ow,
That was
ow,
Mark just said
I did not
that.
say that. I would never say that. Okay, I would never say that.
Mark just said
No,
that.
That's
I
a
did not.
wild
No.
boy right there.
I know she's in
She's
Miami.
Jewish. She doesn't date black guys. What is wrong with you? Point being, do you think Bezos could run? And do you think that's what he's planning for?
Here's what I was trying to get. The point I was getting to. If you've seen government, like anybody who works a government job,
Yeah.
they get nothing done. It's
Yeah.
the least efficient thing on earth.
Yeah.
Government programs completely inefficient.
They pay the least, of course. They're gonna
Tax
be the least.
money gets used so inefficiently. I think you need a corporate guy to be like, hey, let's fix all this shit.
And a corporate guy who's already made all their money. The
Yeah.
reason why you often don't have talent in the public sector is because those people go to the private sector and they make 10
tons of
times
money.
the amount of money, right?
100%.
Why would I organize the DMV when I could be organizing or I can be doing consulting for some crazy
I'll
billion
just sell cars and make billions of dollars.
Boom, 100%. I still think that Bezos has realized I've made all the money I can make. I've done everything I can do. Okay? I've divorced my wife and made it back.
Oh yeah.
Once you divorce your wife
Yeah.
and you make it back and then some, you think you're unstoppable.
It took like a calendar year. It didn't even take time.
One pandemic.
Nothing.
He started one pandemic.
Bruh.
Dude, what if he started the pandemic? He was like, bitch, you thought you got me." Cut to the wise, show Thanos. Yo, Thanos is low key.
Yo.
Is
Loki?
Jeff Bezos-
Loki? You don't even know you're doing it, bro.
You see how I just...
You don't even know you were doing it.
Chosen,
dog.
bro.
Yo,
Harry
you don't
Potter,
even
baby.
know, son.
chosen one.
Harry Potter, bro.
No.
Come on. Dove is disgusted the way that I'm holding this Arabian sword, bro.
Yeah,
He's
get
absolutely
out.
disgusted. Come on, this should be used to be chasing your people out of the Holy Land.
Yeah, and circumcising babies.
When we see that,
That's what they use their teeth for, Mark. Come on.
we look at ISIS hostage videos when you
This
do
is
that.
ISIS
so
hostage?
I'm just like, hey,
Why did the Jews not have a knife? Every other culture in Arabia has a knife.
Yep.
Why don't you guys have a sword?
Because
or
they
a
have
knife?
America.
we don't
bro.
need weapons. We talk our way out of everything.
You
Or
just
into
talked
things.
your way
We
in
just
or
talked
out.
our way in and out.
Like you've done this podcast.
Exactly.
Nobody invited Dove to Florida. All of
It
a
is
sudden,
true.
he's managing the podcast.
It is true.
He's just in the middle
He got
of
us
all
the
that.
studio.
He's
How-
staying with
Who got you the
me.
studio?
How
Thank you,
Jewish is
Akash.
this guy
This
that
is
he's not
unbelievable.
paying any rent?
Nope.
He got us. He's our real estate guy.
He just reminded me of something. Not only he just finds a way to stay. He's staying with me, and of course, my girl loves him because he's
Yeah.
so fucking lovable. This
Yeah.
guy,
Yeah.
and like he's almost kind of like a girl, but also like a guy. He's a real chameleon. This,
Yeah, yeah.
and I go, yeah, you're gonna stay in the pool house, whatever like that, and he goes. I go, well, yeah, dude. It's like you're not paying anything. You're just gonna stay in the pool house. It's great. The pool house. He doesn't send a word yet. He's just speaking in he's speaking in trauma.
It's no.
But you haven't
Vocal
paid
trauma.
me.
Speaking in truffle.
He's speaking in truffle.
Yeah.
100%. He's speaking in truffle. What do you mean I haven't paid you?
Can I tell you how my Jew brain works?
Yes.
Okay, so you can admit to your followers, your audience, who got the studio and negotiated for the house. Your boy right here, right? So to
You
me,
negotiated for that house very
to
poorly.
me, I
You
think
negotiated for that house very
no,
poorly.
the house.
That was a
Andrew and I did
combination. That
together.
was an old
a
school
1-2.
combo.
Give
We
us-
were doing
right here.
1-2s.
Put my
We've been doing
1/5
1-2s for a
in the
while.
shot.
So
There you
Dove's
go.
letting Andrew stay at his place?
No,
Mark,
no,
I'm gonna
that'll
throw-
share custody.
Mark, I'm gonna
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
Is that the point? You're tearing apart the podcast.
House, I'll
He's
share the
Yoko
custody.
Ono.
House, I'll share it.
This is not Palestine, all right? You can't just come split this shit up.
Whoa! That's a geopolitical joke.
The way that my mind works for the actual studio is what the retail
Yo,
cost was
I'm sorry.
and what I
Hold
got
on
it
one
for.
second.
is
Alex,
what I made.
this is all I ask you is that we slowly take a little bit more of Dove's angle away from him each podcast until there's almost none left. Okay?
Yeah.
Technically, we are sharing it.
Uh-huh.
It's an angle we're sharing.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Not in the shot.
No, you
Until
don't
all
think
that's
so?
left is a nose on the frame.
Okay, so Dove, you finagled away to potentially. Is this the shot? I love it. You finagled. I absolutely.
Bro, jeez. Why are you Zig Highland, dude? Fuck. What the hell,
Too
Dove?
soon.
Too soon implies there will be a time.
Oh,
That goes against
Yes.
never forget.
Geneva can
never
Never
again.
again.
Never again.
Oh,
Never
what is
forget his
never
9/11.
forget? That's your
That's,
guy.
yeah, that's
Yeah, that's the elephant he rode in on. Yeah, for his wedding.
Wait a minute.
He rode an
That's a
elephant at
good
his
point.
wedding, bro. They never forget.
That's
Oh,
a
I
good
thought when you
point.
said elephant, I thought you were talking about Dove and his. Dude, having Dove here for having an equally sized nose to me makes me feel so comfortable.
Oh yeah, dude. Dove's the opposite of a sphinx, bro. He's all nose.
Bro, I have a picture when I was in Egypt of me sitting or standing parallel to the Sphinx, and it's just my nose that fills in. I got to post. Anyway, it's great to be here. Yo, Miami, thank you so much. Shouts to y'all. We appreciate you
Keeping this
inviting
shit
us
open.
in.
I mean,
Yeah, keeping it open and just like, it's amazing. For everybody out there that doesn't realize what it's like to be in a state that doesn't give a fuck about Corona, you feel, for lack of a better word, like a huge queer if you wear a mask.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys get that? Have you felt this at all?
no.
Not at all.
I haven't really been out though. I've been chilling for the most part. But yeah, I heard somebody say they got yelled at for wearing a mask in like Naples, Florida. Like the
Bro,
way you get yelled at for not wearing a mask up north.
it is inverted.
They were like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Why you believe this shit?"
Son, I was at a hotel in down or midtown or whatever,
Yeah.
Miami. I would walk in and I would see if the person at the front door would ask me to put the mask on, and every time, it's just as a test, I just wouldn't wear the mask. Hello, sir. Welcome back to the hotel. Wouldn't even ask. The people at the front desks wouldn't even ask. It was almost as if it was like an inconvenience to you to ask.
Yeah.
We went to the restaurant. Didn't even ask. While you're talking to the people at the restaurants, they take their mask off so that they can communicate more clearly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Am I the only one that's been witnessing this?
A little bit, yeah. I haven't been out though. He's been
Al?
going. He's been going to 5-star restaurants every night, bro.
I mean, yeah. This is my life, guys. Don't even did I tell him before the car I'm driving? Oh yeah, I told him the car I'm driving, bro. Yo, I'm out here with bougie wheels, bro.
Yeah, you doing it.
I'm fucking dude. Y'all made fun of it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a BMW, bro. I got 3 letters for you. B
And then,
M
and then,
W. Yeah, dude.
3 is also the series that it is.
Yeah,
which
we
is the
don't need to
cheapest
go
tire.
hey, we don't need to go there with it. Hey, bro, we don't need to talk about it's basically a hatchback. Hey, bro, I got a hatchback. It's all good. You know? Hey, what kind of car is your
Don't
dream car?
disrespect a hatchback, yo. I love a hatchback. Yo, I love me a hatchback. Watch your
I
mouth.
basically got a minivan.
yeah.
I basically got a minivan, and not even like the 7 or the 5.
Yeah,
I got the 3, fit into all the spaces.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Little parking spot says compact. I got it. Hey, I'll take it from here. You know what I'm saying? What, Dove? Dove's trying to beat me.
Yeah.
Dove was like, "Oh, you think you're gay?" What did you get, Dove?
I got a Mini Cooper convertible.
Bro, he got mini in the word, dude.
Yeah.
Mini in the title,
Embarrassing,
dude.
bro.
Yeah.
Who would do that? Golden Doodle. Who would get
Yorkie?
anything with mini?
A Yorkie named Cookie.
I have a teacup Yorkie
Teacup.
that I've adopted. Okay? And then the doodle, we already told the story, but you almost killed it. We'll save that for another podcast.
I didn't like the competition.
You got a Mini Cooper, bro.
Mini Cooper.
You think he's trying to compensate?
Drop top.
Huh?
No,
You
he's
think
seen my
he's-
schmeck.
You think he's trying to compensate
we good?
He's trying to compensate
for being fat?
for
Oh,
That's a shot fired.
Yo,
bro.
Doug was flabbergasted that you said that, son.
Yo.
My man's gas were
I
flabber.
beat you in pull-ups in Austin.
No.
Yo, that
no.
is
Yo, he
true,
just
bro.
called you the F word, Doug. He just called you the F word. I don't know if
Did
you
it in
heard
the
it.
most polite way,
Yeah.
but Dove was yanking his fat ass up. But I think there is some. No. I think he does
No,
have some
he
advantage.
bent the bar down, so it actually was easier for him, I think.
I was thinking that there was some momentum thing he was doing, where like if he got a little bit of tug up, his titties would just levitate and do the rest. But
What if he just lifted his chin up and his nose went over the bar?
that was what I was doing.
yeah.
I was doing that, and what I would do is when I get the nose over the bar, I breathe in and I suction the rest of my
Yeah.
body.
No, I think Dove was stuck in orbit, and it kind of just pulled him up a little bit.
Beat both of you, by the way.
Yeah, he destroyed both of us. Dove is the most infuriating human being because he's so effeminate and
Yeah.
yet will beat most people at most masculine things. Like in terms of crushing pussy, none of anybody has a chance.
Yeah.
But he'll be super gay about it. So it's like, wait, you and that, like you were going after a girl with another guy, and then that guy is gonna have to explain to his friends why you ended up sleeping with that girl.
Yeah. And I'd go to get my nails done with that girl the next day.
Yeah.
Got to keep. them
She'll
clean.
regret it. These girls regret it because he'll
No,
like
no.
judge their house. He'll be like, "Ooh, like this is how you designed it." Like,
What is this, IKEA?
Ooh, yeah, like those are cabinet. Oh, that's an interesting choice. Like, he'll say things like that. Like, oh, did you choose that? Oh,
Do you
okay.
pay for the manicure the next day?
Nope.
I'll take it.
Hey, you
Unless they
paying for
want a
dinner
complicated
tonight,
thing.
bruh.
No, in
Hey,
and out.
And they clean out under their
hey.
nails. Sounds like you're hiding evidence, though.
Hey,
I don't know.
you paying for dinner tonight, bro?
Oh, that's
You paying for dinner tonight?
With
I didn't
Andrew's
realize-
credit card, I just took a picture of.
bro. This guy found a way to get my credit card so many fucking times.
Unfucking-believable.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I don't even want to get into it. We've got LeBron James to talk about. Did you guys all see the video?
Oh yeah,
Oh, it's
yeah.
Yeah. But would you get head from Shorty?
Take a run at it?
Let's keep it a stack of lack right
You got
now,
to break down
dude.
the story. You got to break down.
Okay, I can't. I honestly can't. She was yelling, and I just kept seeing. I was like, "How does her lips even separate, dude? Look at how big these lips are, dude.
Oh, man.
This was crazy. I thought she was from Space Jam because I'd like to Space Jam my fucking
You want to jam into the space in her face?
100%. I mean, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so basically, this woman was sitting courtside with her husband.
Yeah, he's
right?
like a businessman in Atlanta.
Pretty sure, yeah, he was the one with the tickets. And
What makes you think that?
You said tickets or titties?
Maybe.
wait, no, he was the one with the titties.
He's the one with the
Definitely
Yeah,
but
Alex is one with the
There
titties.
was some. Yo, Al, you are stacked. Son, you are stacked.
B-cup.
Yo, real talk. If you waxed your chest, we could take salacious photos and leak them on the internet 100%.
Tit fuck me?
Say what?
You want to tit fuck me?
Bro,
Son.
I might have too much girth for you.
B-cup.
Son, that was insulting to my girth, bro. I might be too girthed out
Oh,
for
you
you.
got that pencil stop.
Son, nah.
No, he's got that Ticonderoga, bro. Bro,
I
he's-
got that Snapple, bro.
Nuh-uh.
I got that raspberry, dude. I got some Snapple raspberry for you.
Now, if it
Diet.
was your nose, it might not fit. But
There's no way I could nose tip.
yeah, you could.
100% no way. I have your titties looking sideways, bro. But in all seriousness, Allie's got a ball day. Now this chick back here with the labios, she's got a great set of lips on her. Okay,
Which, this is just so crazy, man. This is your thing.
it is.
Yeah,
why would
you
it not
love
be my
fake
thing?
lips.
You're a weirdo.
Listen, I don't. All right. We in Miami. Well, I'm supposed to lie. I'm supposed to start the podcast in Miami by lying, Akash. Is that what I'm supposed to be?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be acting like I'm someone I'm not, sitting here in a Cuban knit fucking t-shirt. I'm supposed to be a fake person drinking the rocks tequila. Repost.
Yeah, they should put an embargo on your outfit right now, bro. That shit is
How did I
wild.
get in here? So this girl was sitting next to her very wealthy husband who felt entitled enough to talk shit to LeBron James. Okay? Now, I'm the type of motherfucker. LeBron got them both thrown the hell out. Okay? She started talking shit to LeBron. She was defending her husband, which
He
low
says
key.
he did not. He said I didn't want them to get thrown out.
Yeah.
I mean, he be saying
He said he didn't think that they should get thrown out.
after the fact, but he was like, yo, they were the ones talking reckless. They were talking crazy. Now, she alleges that he said some wild shit back to her.
Yeah. He said, "Shut the fuck up, bitch," is what she said.
And low key,
Bitch, just
coming
shut the
from
fuck
someone
up.
who's been heckled at the comedy shows, I've reacted in a similar way.
Some would say worse.
Maybe there are some clips we cannot put out.
Oh, man. I wish you pushed that button. It's ready to go anytime
You're
you're
talking
ready.
about the DC one, right?
No, Philly.
Billy, I heard you talked about it
Billy.
on the pod. But you
Oh,
didn't-
that one was crazy.
You didn't
No,
pay
that
it.
one I felt
that was a
uncomfortable
waitress,
watching.
right?
Son, we could push that button.
With the what was it? It was like his wife committed suicide. Or something like that? What was the thing that happened?
Probably
his
after
wife
you
was
kicked her
dead
out
or
of
something
the
like
You
that.
became
You
a
a dead
yeah.
wife.
You became a werewolf halfway through the show.
I turned. I changed. That's what it was.
It was
And,
terrifying.
and know what? It is what it is. But it also happened in DC.
Yeah. Yeah.
You remember in DC with that one girl?
Which one was
We
this?
didn't even make it as part of the crowd work special because we were all like, everything is good up until here, and then it's too crazy.
Yeah, sometimes.
It was wild in DC, but she was a wild girl,
I'm trying.
and she wasn't stacked with no DSLs like this girl right here.
Yeah.
Some no lip
This
bitch
bitch got them-
talking shit to me.
This bitch got the
You gonna have
Nikon.
some no lip fucking
Fucking-
Coco animation looking bitch.
Goddamn Edward Scissor Lips, bro.
You can't be talking shit like this.
Get out of here. Get
Come
out.
on now.
Nah, bro.
Look like a freshly shaved pussy, bro.
You need that bow.
You need that.
That bad.
All right, guys, let's take a break real quick and let's talk about the most crippling debt that maybe exists, and it's fucking cruel the way they do you with student loans, but we are here to help. It's a pandemic. People are losing jobs. You need to save money where you can, and one of the biggest places you waste money is interest, period, on any loan. But the most criminal of all is student loans. Luckily, Flagrant 2 is going to come through for you like we always do, and the Indian is going to save you money like we always do. Dove, feel free to chime in because we're talking about loans and saving money, two things the Jews are very adept at. Now, Earnest is where you need to go to refinance your student loans. Earnest offers Earnest offers low
One take,
rate,
baby.
one take. Earnest offers low rate student refinancing, and you can check your rate risk-free in just 2 minutes. With Earnest, you get radically flexible payments, and you can pick your loan term. You can refinance, reduce your loan term, save money, or you can combine multiple loans into a simple monthly payment. If you have questions, you can also talk to a real live human. Guys, you ever go on these websites and try to talk to a chat bot or send an email that takes days to respond to it? It drives you fucking crazy. That's not going to happen at Earnest. Why? Because they are earnest. They talk to you like human beings. So go to earnest.com, and because we're Flagrant 2 and we save you extra money, they are offering our listeners a $100 cash bonus. Cash bonus to save money. So you save money and make money. You go to earnest.com/flagrant. That's all you got to do, guys. Go to earnest.com/flagrant. Terms and conditions apply. That's what they always make you say. But basically, you're going to save money and then make money. Go do it. And before you get off this ad, I need to tell you about my show dates. I am going to be in Providence, Rhode Island this week, February 5th and 6th at the Comedy Connection. And then March 4th through 6th, I'm going to be in Philadelphia at Helium Comedy Club. I'm coming through Philly. Come tell me about how the Cowboys suck or whatever the fuck it is you guys want to do. And then October, let me get the dates. I believe I said October. March 18th through 20th, I'm at Helium in St. Louis. Guys, those are the 3 dates. akashsing.com to buy tickets. Now let's get back to the
Real talk. I can't even say what I want to say because it's incriminating. But you can find anybody's OnlyFans on Reddit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
You found Al's OnlyFans?
Nah, I pay for it. No, but anybody's OnlyFans on Reddit. You know what I'm saying?
Let me just say, it's not OnlyFans. You know what I mean? It's more than
Reddit
that.
as well.
Yeah.
Basically, Dove shared an OnlyFans from some twinsies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, both the Dove sisters?
You would find a way around paying these hoes. That's such
Out
a
of
Dove
respect.
move, ain't it?
Really is a Dove move. It's on brand as fuck.
Yeah.
But he busted out the nudes from these little chickarinis.
Horse.
Yes, maybe they are, maybe they're not. We're not exactly sure. And you see vagine from the front. You don't see it open, but you see it from the front. Bro, a little oatmeal cookie sandwich.
What?
Yeah, a little oatmeal cookie cream pie. A little oatmeal cream
Little
pie.
Debbie? A little Debbie?
She had a little Debbie down there. Oh, is that what you got? An oatmeal cookie sandwich? Is that what you're working with down there? Oh. Hey, I don't know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
You know, when they're looking at you straight. And then you're like, oh, is there a little plastic packaging on that? Because you got an oatmeal cookie sandwich. I don't know why Dove would do this. That's disrespectful for Dove.
I'm mad you ain't said it my way, son. Fuck you, dog.
That would be too much.
You think Surge, you think got that plasty?
Say what?
Did she get the plasty, the snip snip?
Oh, you think she got some sort of surgery on her vagine?
Have you heard of this?
I have.
Okay, yeah, that's my.
I have heard of such a thing.
Do you think that's
You're
what
saying it like
Here's-
you
Here's
haven't.
the thing, you can do whatever you want to the outside, but if the inside don't feel good, I don't know what you could do to the inside. Can you make the inside snatch? Can you make the inside?
Yes.
happened? Yeah, you work on your pelvic floor.
You work on your what?
Your pelvic floor. You do Kegels.
You work on your pelvic floor?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Kegels?
fellas,
Why you put an extra C in there? Kegels.
Kegels.
Yeah.
All I'm trying to say is, I don't know what my girl's been doing to her pelvic floor, her ceiling, or the walls, but
Come on.
I be coming fast lately, guys. I think I need to be in a colder time zone. I really do. Is it
Yeah.
time zone? Or is it?
No, it's time zone. It's time zone.
I think my longitude or latitude is off, bro.
Because in the north, it's like your dick is frozen and then it thaws inside, and that gives you a little extra time. It's like a defrost.
Holy
when you're in
shit.
Miami, it's good to go.
Maybe
Your boy-
all of our dicks got bigger because of
Mine
heat.
didn't.
Okay.
Message. Hey, boys, we back. We in Miami. Shout to your pelvic floors, you fucking sluts. What? Not all of them got pelvic floors this lit. Do you know what I mean? Some of them out here in the
The old wood, bro.
sun, they might have the old wood.
Yeah.
You know, it's possible that they got a little, what's the apartment where they got the big ceilings?
What?
Loft?
Loft. Some of y'all got a loft.
Yeah.
Some of y'all got a pelvic loft. You be in the
Mezzanine
pelvis like, yo, there's some room in
Yeah.
here.
Is this a carport?
You
The
got
fuck
a
is
trundle
this?
bed somewhere? All right, so LeBron James,
Yeah.
wrong
a segue.
wrong for kicking this little girl out.
No, fuck this bitch.
Whoa, bro,
Bro.
Yeah.
bro, we in Florida, bro.
Oh, that's someone's wife, dude.
Yeah, that's a rich
No,
guy's
it ain't
wife.
someone's wife.
Son, that was a rich guy's wife.
That's his piece. That can't be his
Son,
wife.
it was his wife. That's why she was barking for so much. She was like, "You're not
Yeah.
gonna talk shit about my man." Low key,
He's a ride or die, bro.
I respect her.
Yeah.
She gonna get her husband killed. Like those are the type of girls that get their husband
Yeah,
killed.
bruh.
Yep.
Cause she got to recognize who her
He
husband
said,
is fighting
I will
against.
fuck you up. It's like, bitch, stop. Just stop.
But now you're gonna put me in a situation where
Yes.
I gotta fight for you.
Yeah, LeBron
And we
James
was both
would
trying to
dunk her.
walk away from this.
A 70-year-old versus LeBron James.
I know, son. That's crazy. Who do you think got that in a fair one? If they were shooting a fair one,
I'll give
who do
it
you
to-
think got that?
I'll give it to him.
Nah, I give it to the shorty.
No.
She look a little feisty, so.
You think she's feisty?
Yeah,
you think
LeBron-
they start wrestling? She just starts sucking her thing.
Bro, she can take so many punches to the face, bro. She got the
you
fucking
said punches or dicks?
both, bro.
No, but the punches, the lips,
yeah,
they
she
almost
got the
act
airbag.
like a buffer,
she
dude.
got the airbag.
It's
Yeah.
true.
That's true.
Bro,
That's a good
you got to
point.
look at her lips. They look like an airplane pillow, dude. It's unbelievable. I love them.
You would wrap it around your neck to go take a nap.
More than my neck. No, guys, I'm engaged.
Yeah, that's yeah.
You guys are crazy. Once we
Yeah.
got to Miami, y'all started acting crazy.
Nope.
You started acting crazy.
Nope.
This motherfucker found a way to match a Yankee fitted to a floral shirt. I don't know how the hell this guy got it in him. I don't know how.
You know what time it is.
Al started playing songs. So the point is, we've got a few different people here that we have to talk about. One, LeBron James, is he wrong for kicking people out?
Never.
Nah.
Honestly,
He's
It's
the
his
franchise.
venue, bro.
He's the franchise.
it's his venue. He's the reason y'all came to the fucking thing and decided to almost get Corona in the first place.
Yep.
And if you are talking crazy to him, that's not what you paid a ticket price for.
Yep.
You're not paying to talk shit to the athletes.
Nope.
What are you paying for? You're paying to watch the
Watch.
fucking game.
Yeah.
Kick your ass out if you make him feel uncomfortable. Now, so the dude, cornball, the chick standing up for her man.
Yeah, she's dope.
I respect it. She doesn't realize the cost of that sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She gonna get him into a fight that he's gonna have to take,
And he get his ass
and
whooped.
he's gonna get his ass whooped.
And he looks like he can handle himself, so she's
But-
gonna get more bold.
She's gonna be and she probably sees a bunch of people being sycophantic to him
Yeah.
on a regular.
Yo.
He's some rich dude.
Sycophant.
Sycophantic.
Fantastic, bro.
And
That's,
you know whoever gave him that hookup from the courtside seats, he ain't getting it back.
You don't think he's getting back? He's paying crazy bread.
Not gonna get it.
Come on, dogs.
How was he even in there? The fucking stadium was empty.
That's how rich
No,
he
it
is,
was
dog.
at the Hawks
But it's
game.
Atlanta. You're allowed to have some, which is so
It
stupid
looked
because if you
mad empty. Yo.
yeah, but bro, I think they're allowed doing like partial seating or whatever. But it's so dumb because if you really thought that these people in the stands could potentially infect the players,
Why would you have him close to the players, right?
you put them in the back,
bro,
not in the front
it's
row.
called court side.
Literally.
You're on the side of the court.
Come on, yo.
And that's where they got her. She took her mask off, and it's like, yo, you're too close to have your
Thank
mask
God,
off.
though.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. Imagine that mask trying to hold that thing, bro. That's
Bro.
like me trying to talk with a mask. My
Uh-huh.
nose be popping out like, what's going on over here?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
She
You know
has,
what I'm saying?
She
she
might
has
talk
the
to
your
this
nose
eat
of
that.
lips.
Say what?
She has the your nose of lips.
Can you say his doves?
Yeah, she got the dove's nose of Andrew's nose.
Come on. It's bullying, guys.
I
It's
tried.
fucking bullying.
I
I'm
tried.
The one with the machete.
I was just tagging your joke.
Oh, thanks, bro. Cheers.
Hey, yeah.
So she's kind of about it. She's gonna get her man in trouble. The thing that I find interesting is this. I asked Mark, I was like, yo, can you find out what her man said?
Mm-hmm.
Were you able to?
I couldn't find what he said,
Okay.
but I know what she said.
Now, do you know what LeBron said back?
I
her?
looked this up. According to there's an article on
This
The
is all
Athletic.
according to, right? I'm
Yeah.
not trying to interrupt.
Okay.
But usually, if anybody says anything in the NBA, there's a camera angle that captures it.
Yeah.
Right? That's why you see the players talking with their
Yes.
jersey over their mouth because they know they're always being filmed no matter what they say.
Mm-hmm.
I find it a little bit interesting, to say the least, that when LeBron James allegedly says, "Fuck you, bitch,"
Yeah.
to some lady in the crowd, there's not a single angle of him saying it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if this was maybe a 6-man on a team, maybe some bench player, there might be an angle of him saying "fuck you, bitch" with some audio.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll ever see that angle?
I don't think it exists. I don't think it exists. This is why she's called Courtside Karen, because this is what Central Park Karen did. Is I was being threatened by this man.
So you think she's making it
She's
up?
trying to get out of trouble. Yeah.
Oh,
like the
I think-
whore that she is.
Whoa, dude, she's a married woman,
Yeah,
bro.
that's some
She's
guys.
not
Yo.
married.
Bro, she's more married than you
Dude,
and your girl are. Ain't no
Bro.
Hindu ceremony.
They don't got
Yeah.
no promise rings. They don't got
No.
nothing.
Bro,
You gotta be.
She's
respect-
loving
be
this.
respectful,
Yeah.
dog.
That is some guy's cum dumpster, bro. You gotta come on, bro.
Come on, dude.
You can't just be talking crazy, dude.
Yo, you're right. My
I
bad.
just realized you were talking crazy.
No, I didn't.
This is so insane the way you're talking about women. We're in Miami. We respect women down here. We would never objectify women.
Nope.
Oh,
That's
that's
not
a
why
good
we would
point.
come
You're
to
right.
Miami
You're
for.
right.
No.
There are women out here walking around in bandage dresses, and we are to respect them.
Yes.
We're not supposed to look at their bodies and object. God damn, bro.
You notice she put on the most like beautiful filter she could find.
No, that's just what she looks like. That's
on,
called
bro.
white women, bro. Yo, Akash, I'm on to
I
you,
get
bro.
it now.
I'm on
I get
to
it
you,
now.
Akash.
Bro, Andrew
I
gets,
see it.
he gets tricked by
He
Instagram
gets
filters.
Tricked by filters.
He
and
gets
lips.
That's a
it.
filter?
He gets
That's a
tricked by
filter.
dude.
Come
He gets
on,
tricked
son.
on the internet more than anyone I've ever met, bro.
Yo,
The funniest
stop.
one. Do you
What
remember the
talking
funniest
about,
one?
son? Mark's hair is gay or something. Let's talk about Mark's hair. If I hate
The
you.
funniest one. Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay, so it's 10 o'clock at night. We get a message in the group chat. It's me, Andrew, Alex. Andrew goes, guys, emergency. We all look at our phones.
I didn't say emergency.
He said emergency SOS exclamation point. And then we all looked at our phones. There's a
Send out the
screenshot
SOS.
from a DM that he got from Instagram support with a little
Blue check.
with a blue check
Blue
mark.
check,
Okay,
legit blue check, Instagram support.
Instagram support, blue
Follower
check
count's
mark.
kind of low, but also, who follows Instagram support? That's weird. I would never follow Instagram
Yeah.
support. That's not something you click follow
So, yeah,
on.
it's got
Completely
100
reasonable.
yeah, 100
I didn't
followers.
say emergency. I didn't say SOS.
did.
No,
Yes, you did.
7,000 followers, and you guys are making
He
up
said,
this
guys,
shenanigans.
I need help, okay? And
How
then-
did he get a motherfucking bullet cut? Okay.
So we look at it, and the message says, you have copywritten stuff on your page. You have to pull it down immediately. If you don't respond to this and log in and clear your name, we're going to delete your account in 48 hours.
Okay.
I got one of those from Michael Rappaport's account.
Well, it gets better.
And I didn't know if it was fake, but I ain't responding to Michael fucking Rappaport. What kind of dork do I look like?
Put your mask on.
Hold on. I got one of them from his account, too.
Yo, my man is trying to get us, yo.
Bro,
He was hacked.
okay, and yeah, you just realized now. Andrew's like, oh, thanks, Michael. Appreciate that. Andrew's always looking out for us. You've always been the best friend
I
to me.
thought Mike was
Like,
looking
he's a
out,
good
bro.
guy. That's a
I
good
really
guy.
thought Mike was like, yo, they're really getting on accounts these days. They're shutting people down. I mean, in my mind, I'm like, they took down Trump. We're next, guys.
So we look at the name on Instagram is Instagram support.
Yeah.
But then we looked at the handle.
The handle. Obviously, Instagram is going to give you freedom to express yourself in whatever way you would want to express yourself.
And
Like,
I'm
that's
gonna-
what Instagram is about as a platform. It's giving power to
Oh
the
my
people.
God.
Robin Hood.
The handle's name is Thomas Mosquito.
Son, I don't know where he's from. He could be Turkish.
Thomas
Mosquito? Mosquito's a reason. Your last name is Gagnon. If somebody messaged me from Gagnon, I'd probably be like, oh, this is a fake account. Mosquito's at least a real thing. That's a fucking animal.
Oh, man.
It's an insect.
You really
out
did
there.
hit the emergency. Like you opened it up with yo emergency.
Son, I
Like
didn't,
that was
bro.
hilarious.
Bro,
Yo,
our
you wanna
response
know what's
goes,
even crazier is someone legit got into my email. I didn't even tell y'all this the other day. Someone emailed me on my email. I only found it in spam. He's like, I got your email password. And it was my password. And I was like, man, what y'all gonna do with that though? Like, what would you even do with it? Like, you gonna look through my emails, bro? Like, come on, yo. And
Yeah.
I didn't send it to y'all.
But
That's the one you
that's
sent.
the one you sent.
No!
Yeah.
I've had enough of both of you. and
Akash,
your
defend me,
shenanigans.
Akash. What's wrong with
yeah,
you,
you're right,
dude?
you're right,
Jesus.
you're right.
Come
These
on.
guys are going
Defend me,
crazy.
Akash.
That's why we have a fucking sword.
Stop pointing the sword at me.
Yo. Point is, she got mad filters on.
Her shirt's sparkling, bro.
Yeah,
So
that's
what, dude? Jesus Christ.
that's just her skin glistening.
Yeah, her eyes sparkle.
Bro.
I love her.
She is a hot piece.
You-
No, dude, I found out she's like 24 years old.
She
or
said
something like
she's
that. She looks
25.
36
She's
years old.
24?
Everybody's
36.
clowning her because she keeps saying she's 25, and everybody's like, "Bitch, you 40." Stop.
I have a
saying you're
kid on Instagram. I went to her Instagram.
Oh, we
and then-
can't make fun of she has a child.
No, but what I'm
bro.
saying is you can't be 25, 24, but your kid is like
But also
9,
think about
10.
how many kids she swallowed.
Yeah. That's a
Think
good
about that
point.
number.
Yeah.
That's another thing that you're not
This
considering.
is a real woman that has feelings, okay?
She does,
This is
and
a-
she was
yeah.
insulted by
Yes.
LeBron James, and
Yes.
that's what's important.
This is a walking
Okay.
glory hole that deserves respect. all right?
Wow, Mark.
Is she married? Is she married? You saw her.
She's married to the guy.
Yeah.
That's her husband, dude. This is
horrible couple,
Atlanta.
though.
It's different down there.
He's 70, she's 25.
You know-
the kid's about 9.
She's not 70.
No,
He's 70.
He's 70.
She's 25.
The kid's 9.
I think somewhere like 8 or 9.
There's no way.
So she was 16 years old.
He should be locked up if that's the case.
There you go.
One of those.
Bro.
Either she's lying about her age or he's a criminal. One of those two.
One of those two, Al. That's crazy what you just said. Can you back it up?
Son, we're in Miami. Son.
Yeah, that's a good point,
it.
dude.
Are we feeling
I think
so
he just
fast?
backed it up. I think he just backed
Like-
it up.
We in Miami.
All right, so then it's definitely true.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Okay, get this girl off the screen before I unbutton my pants. Okay,
Better
it's
be
crazy.
3
out here.
machetes.
Yo,
in
you know what bothers me about this guy is he's like Atlanta rich, where he thinks he's the hottest shit in the world, and then
Yeah.
if you move to like New York, everybody's like, "All right, plebeian, like get the fuck out of my
Yeah.
face. You're a little $10 million. Suck my dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not powerful, bro.
Yeah.
Yo.
You're
Now,
not
what happens
Akash.
if you move from New York to Miami?
Yeah,
what are
you-
you then?
Hey,
Paying 2
kings.
rents, baby.
Motherfucking kings,
Kangs, bro.
Two
The
mortgages
Kangs.
out this bitch.
Kangs,
for
bro.
everybody but me who got out of his lease.
Yeah.
Yo, yeah, Akash got out of his lease, so I'm like furious. I was really looking forward to you being perturbed for the entire
When I
month.
told you I had just signed a lease, all you said is, "Good, now we're all paying double rent."
Yeah.
That's all you said.
Technically,
Asshole.
I'm the only one paying double rent somehow.
Yeah, good for you.
You fucks.
It was your choice. Your
I
decision.
guess you're right. But what a good move this
It
was.
was a great move.
It was
That was a
good
great move. Hey,
move.
cheers,
We
buddy.
got neon, dog.
Yo, we got the illest 2 studios in podcast.
Yeah, it is true, man.
Yo,
it is.
And this is number 1. Yo.
What, son?
WTF Media is
That's-
up
that's
there.
comp.
Yo.
You got some
Yo,
cops.
yo.
Who?
Stop.
Who?
Stop.
Son, y'all
He's
got-
saying WTF
y'all
Media,
don't got no
son.
sliders at WTF. Y'all
Son,
don't got
this
no
is-
teleprompter
Wait a
at
second.
WTF.
Son,
Hang
this
on,
is what
step-
happens.
Step your shit up.
Yo,
yo.
this is WTF Media
Son, step it
without Wheezy. I just want to let you know what it could be.
Yeah.
She holding you back, bro.
Wait, also, didn't you set up this studio?
Son,
did.
you set up this
This
studio.
is-
Wheezy set up that little Count Chocula shit that y'all got over there, bro. Come on. You see Eden behind the board? Starting the episode in 3.
Shout out to Evan, man. Thank you, bro.
Come on,
Eden.
Eden. Come down to Miami. Be with your people. We'll hire you.
Yeah.
We'll hire you away from Alex to work with Alex.
What a wild poach. dude.
I know, dude. You told us you liked him. You told us he's really good. All right, guys, we're going to take a break for a second. Now, usually I'm not dressed like a Cuban domino champion, okay? Usually I'm out there looking sexy, and it's because I got my basics on point. And where do I get my basics? I get them from Mack Weldon, all right? It's simple as that. I need my tee. I need a hoodie. I need socks. I need any of my male essential basics. I get them from Mack Weldon. It is that simple. Why would I go to 15 different fucking websites to get things that look good and are comfortable and feel good and fit right? You go to one place, you get the best fabrics, you get the best fit, you get the best feel. It doesn't fall apart like all the other basics you get from these other places. They fall apart after 2 washes. That's not what Mack Weldon is about. It is the best. It is the easiest. It's the most convenient for you. I can't imagine doing anything else. Mack Weldon, no brainer, simple. And you know what? You know what makes it even better? You go to MackWeldon.com. Al, you know what would make it even better? What is the promotion we're going to give them, Al? This is what you're going to do. You're going to go to MackWeldon.com and you're going to get 20% off your first order. All you got to do is enter the promo code Flagrant. You go to MackWeldon.com/Flagrant, promo code Flagrant, 20% off all your essentials. I promise you're never going to order essentials and basics from anywhere else ever again. It's as simple as that. Also, we got shows coming up, baby. That's right. You go to theandrewschultz.com. You're going to see all the new shows. We're back on tour. We are packed for February, March. I think we got some stuff coming up for April. No, not February. Sorry. We got March, April, May, more stuff. Very excited. Big announcement coming up soon. That'll be in maybe a few weeks, maybe even a few months, but we'll get you there. But go check it out. Salt Lake City, it's sold out. Columbus might be sold out already. There's a few more that we haven't added to the website. We're going to add to them very soon.
Yeah, tickets are going. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy out there. I mean, look, there's lower capacity and more interest. So it's GameStop out here, baby.
Less supply, more demand. Let's burst the bubble.
Whatever that shit is. Bitcoin. No, we're Bitcoin. We're something real.
Yeah.
Anyway, go check it out. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll see you on the road. It's going to get crazy. Now let's get back to the show. All right, so
That's funny.
let's talk about this. Did we even talk about Bezos?
Yeah, he said he's going to be president.
So I think that's what the move was.
I would love a Bezos-Trump election, or Bezos-Cuban election, I mean. That shit would be so lit. Bezos and Cuban going at it.
I just think it's interesting to see him step away.
I don't know, dude. I think anyone that has a ton of money sees Trump and goes, "It's not worth it."
So
Like they gotta look. At
I think
that
they
go.
all think, I think it's the opposite. I think they have such egos, they say, I could do that better.
Maybe.
I
Howard
also
Schultz
think
thought
that-
he could.
Howard Schultz thought he could, but cornball, dog. Fucking cornball.
He's a cornball, isn't he?
He's a
Is
cornball.
this the Starbucks
Fucking
guy?
cornball,
That's
yo.
Starbucks, dog.
Seattle, get out of here, you cuck.
Fucking nerd. I care about the people.
That sounds like a great show.
Bitch.
Nah, that's done.
Nah, you
so.
don't got the new updates.
Yeah, now that we updated, it's fuck Starbucks.
Yo.
Coffee bean all day. Eat a dang-a-lang. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Let's
You
go.
say it like that, I'm on board.
Hey,
Fuck
what's
Starbucks.
this? Remember how racist Starbucks was?
Yeah, remember that? Remember
Coffee
that?
bean never done that.
And it's Black History Bucks.
And
Yeah.
Black History
Hey,
Month.
fuck Howard Schultz, yo.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
you.
All you got is a name.
You're not even my favorite Schultz. Real
Thank
talk.
you. Well, I hope.
Kind of not even a
Hope
compliment.
so.
Yeah, you're right. That wasn't much of a
There was a
compliment.
time where it was close. You're like, bro, I got $2.50 on a Starbucks card.
Have you had these
Howard
cappuccinos? I mean, this guy's
Oh,
amazing.
man.
But if you're right on
Cuck.
if you're right on Bezos, who are the two people that won COVID? Bezos for the Democrats, and on the right side, who could win? Governor of Florida,
Yo,
DeSantis.
real talk?
DeSantis finna get that motherfucking run.
That would
yo.
be a
If you want
battle.
to talk about a political insider that could do it, it's DeSantis. Now, DeSantis is governor. Where do you go from governor?
El Presidente.
It's
that's
only
it,
president, right?
Yo,
And
Dave Portnoy.
you've watched literally the entire world move to Florida, right? Like low key, there's a meme going around was like Florida is #1 realtor of the year, and
Yeah.
it's a picture of Cuomo.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
Right?
that's great.
But the same thing with Newsom and all these guys. Like you've literally seen the entire world move out here, and more people are going to move. We're going to see it in the next couple months. You're going to see it.
We
happen.
trendsetters, baby.
I mean, obviously, we a little late on the trend, but we
little late.
Yeah, we the type of motherfuckers to like do it and be like, "This is how it's done."
Bro,
Yeah.
we're
I mean,
all-
this
we're-
is how it's done.
We're Christopher Columbus, bro.
Son.
We showed up. We're like, yo, we invented Miami.
And there was people here already.
Yeah.
We were like, "Yo, shut up, Indians." Even the Indian is saying that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I like this strategy.
Uh-huh.
So we're gonna colonize Miami.
Bro, Dove already colonizing the studio.
You have a machete.
Dove got this studio and then looked at the one next door and was like, we need that one too. And I swear to God, I was like, it's a white thing, huh? That you just like need as much
Hey,
space
bro,
as
hey,
possible.
bro, hey, bro.
Because Andrew was
Hey,
like,
bro, stop giving all our negotiation tactics up, bro. We still gotta get that studio. Shout out to Ampersand Studios, man. Thank you so
Yo,
much,
shout-
Matthew, the man.
for housing us. Yo, shout out to Matthew, man, and shout out to Matthew's homie that put him onto us. Right? Didn't that happen coincidentally?
Come on, Dove.
I just do with Matthew.
You a piece of shit.
Yo, Dove, that's fucked up that you don't listen to Matthew.
Oh,
man.
Emily. Emily was smart enough when we started discussing deal terms.
It doesn't
She reached
matter.
back when she found
Shouts
out
to
Flagrant
Emily,
2.
Bro. Shouts to Matthew. Shouts to the homies. Shouts to all of us.
The Army for making
what I
it
mean?
popular enough that we got a deal on a studio.
That's the move. The Army.
Hey, bro. Shouts to all of us, dog.
Shout out to
all of us.
Shout out to Schultz, Howard, and Andrew.
We're a team.
Yo, hey.
We're all part of hey, we're all part of
Honestly, if you think about it,
How much fucking Casamigos, whatever the fuck.
I've been
Terramana.
drinking a lot. We came in here in the middle of the night. We took half of the furnishings and we brought it into our studio. Bro, we got to get
so
Matthew
we got
on.
whole ass plants, giant plants.
We got to get Matthew in here one of these days because it is hilarious. Y'all looking at the studio right now and it looks like we bought all this shit. Yo, I'm going to just say, be honest. We got the wallpaper
the sign.
from Bezos.
yeah.
Yeah.
We got the sign. We got to shout to my boys. Oh my God, I got to get this right, man, because this is vintage something.
I gotta get it right. Proceeds to not even get
I'm
close.
going to get this right, man. No, because they came through and they made this fucking sign for us.
On short notice,
Fire.
too.
On short notice.
It
They
is
were the
so
only
fire,
ones
bro.
at _vintage roots.
Fire.
Honestly, the sign is fire. They came through. They made this shit. Everybody else was going to take 2 weeks, going to take 3 weeks. They literally stopped production, made this sign in 2 days. You got to mold all this neon and piping and everything like that. It's amazing what they did. I've never made a sign, but I think so. And they got it to us, and they beat us down here with the sign.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for that. But back to us taking everything from this space. We walk into this amazing space, Ampersand Studios. Unbelievable space in Miami.
Very generous to host us.
Very generous to us. We come in off hours, okay? It's closed. No one's here. The whole place is closed.
Oh, no.
We start taking, I mean, the desk, the trees, these lights that don't even work.
Yeah.
They were working when we took them. Okay? Some things have changed in the process.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is we made this place absolutely beautiful. We got the sound panels. You can't even see it. If you look over my left shoulder, another cool little thing. Al, are we there?
Yeah.
You think they see it?
Yeah.
That's what's up. Okay, now move
Yeah.
away. If they didn't see it, they didn't see it.
Go to the super wide. You
Yeah.
see another ill ass.
I mean, go to that super wide, bro. Oof. Oof. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. All I'm trying to say is
And a nice gate, too. They got a nice gate out here.
Mark done ran over the gate.
Son, this guy's.
Day 2. This guy, I'm in here early before all them, obviously. First person in, last person out.
I don't know if that's always true.
First person
He
in,
said this the other day when we were
first
packing up the
person in.
studios. Yo, first person in. I just looked
First
at Miles.
person
I was
in,
like,
last person out. See that Beamer leaving last, man. Leaving last.
the hatchback
bro.
of Notre
Beamer,
Dame, bro. Just fucking zipping out of here.
Taillights.
So, first person in.
He
they
just
come
comes in so he can make a list of shit y'all did wrong to yell at you about, and then he leaves.
That's
Bro,
what I go.
this
Let's
guy's the
go.
best, bro.
Get it together. Bro.
We're sweating. We're putting up the sign. Me and Miles. It's so hot outside. We're in Florida.
It was crook.
Andrew walks in
Shit
and
was
goes,
crook.
"What's up, guys? Hey, Mark. So how did you choose to line up the sign like that?"
That's my polite way of saying you done fucked it up. You done fucked it up.
Wasn't there an impression of Andrew yelling at people? It's just I don't even understand. Like, help me understand what made you think this was the way you were supposed to do it. Just walk me. No. Just walk me through. No. Just answer this. Just walk me through what you were thinking when you decided to do it this way. That's all I want to know.
Son, that's
Unbelievable.
So good.
I just got
I mean,
PTSD.
I-
Unbelievable.
I-
You gotta-
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable is something I do.
I just can't even fathom
What
what
I
made
saying about?
you think.
What was I saying about?
I don't know. We've all just taken it from you at some point, which is I don't.
But it's usually not towards you guys with that.
Not
No,
as
it's
much me,
no, I wish
but
it was towards
definitely-
us. It's always towards like the most benign shit ever. It's like
Yeah.
the wallpaper. It's like not fitting perfectly. It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, like if something is like put somewhere wrong,
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
And
I'm
Andrew
like, why
has
would
a
it be
funny
wrong?
temper because you'll never actually get mad. He'll just say the emotion he's feeling.
I only
Very.
get mad if I'm on Adderall. When I was on Adderall, I started to get a little snappy.
Actually, though, in fairness,
Shout out, Jax.
I got snappy, dude.
in
I got
fairness, if
snappy.
it's a serious thing,
Only
he doesn't
time you
get
took
mad.
Adderall was Netflix, right?
and
Tuesday.
Yeah, every day since I've actually developed quite the addiction. That's how you drive from New York to Miami.
Let's go.
But he
Okay?
won't-
in 3 days.
He won't yell. He'll just say.
3 days. The
so
easiest
long.
drive. 5 hours a day.
He'll just say.
Unless you do it with your wife.
On Adderall. That's what the problem was.
Oh, that's
You're like,
the problem.
Man,
You're
it's
driving
hard
on
being in a
Adderall.
car, you know, with all the
I
dogs.
wasn't on Adderall.
He
I
was just
wasn't
on drugs the whole time.
I wasn't on Adderall. My dogs were on drugs. I did drug my dogs. PETA, come for me. I don't even care. They were on the bennies.
Benadryl, not
Benzos?
drugs.
Benadryl, not
Okay.
benzos. Yeah. I wish I had benzos. If I could have knocked them out completely, I would have. I love that. Drugged up dogs, love. Keep going. What you're talking about?
All Andrew will do is just go, I'm fucking furious right now. I mean, I'm literally shaking.
But this
like
is
I've
when
never been more mad in my
But he's
But
actually
he won't
good.
actually get mad. He'll just say the emotion.
In defense, if it's a serious thing, he doesn't get mad because Andrew has right to be seriously mad at me a few times. Like
When you fuck up,
Yeah.
like when you run through the gate of the place
yeah.
that we just came in and ransacked for our studio,
Yeah,
when there's nothing else that we could go on, when Dove literally goes, guys, all right, we took a lot of things from the living area. Why don't we just play it cool? Let's just play
he
it cool
texts
today.
us
Lower
that
the
morning, goes,
temperature.
guys, best behavior today.
Lower the temperature.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
Best behavior.
We didn't come to Miami for low temperature.
You're right
baby.
about
The city
it.
where the heat is on. Welcome to Miami.
Okay, so you come in, you say, and your little fucking feel bad for me voice.
I've never done that.
Yeah. He goes like this. He calls me Drew. Never calls me Drew. He goes, Drew, oh, I'm sorry, man. I ran through the gate. I go, what? I go, what do you mean you ran through it? He goes, I was in the U-Haul and I just ran through the gate.
Spot on. But you know the feeling like when you smoke and then you try to act not high? That's what happens when you crush the gate with U-Haul.
Yeah,
Because
I
I was
can
like,
see.
how do I act like I didn't just crush the gate with U-Haul?
And was I angry? No.
And you weren't. And when I got crushed by a car,
When he got hit by a car on my bike and ruined my
in
bike,
a hit and run, and
I
I
didn't get angry.
How sympathetic of you.
he's not sympathetic. He's never sympathetic,
Not sympathetic.
but not that angry though.
You know who
Motherfucker
I'm
be hitting
sympathetic
shit
with?
vehicles, yo.
Yeah,
I got
no,
hit.
this guy's
No, I
bad.
got hit.
This guy's
I
bad.
got hit.
Nah.
No, no.
yeah.
You ran the
didn't-
fucking light.
Like, how is your
There was
fault?
no light.
There was a stop sign.
After I got hit, they put it in.
How you know left octagon? What is that?
Octagon. How you know
Who taught you
octagon?
octagon? So I think Mark has a problem, obviously, with driving.
Yep.
And but also when
do
you
say
fuck up,
Florida
I don't
driving.
come down. I get upset, to be honest, when people fuck with what we're doing. When things are in our control, for the most part, I'm not going, this is unreal, this is fucked up, I'm furious. But when people fuck with our shit, then I get a little bit upset.
It's just funny because you just dictate your emotions but don't actually show them.
Yeah, it's very rare. But when it does come out, it comes out.
Yeah, like a cold dinner in New York. It's inhabitable.
Uninhabitable.
Also that.
Yeah.
It's inhabitable and uninhabitable.
Yes.
That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
This motherfucker.
Uh-huh.
I got very upset at that.
Yeah.
Dove, what's the most
I mean,
angry you've
clearly,
ever seen?
we're here.
What's
You're
the
right.
what's the angriest
No,
you
you don't
think?
see me angry.
No. What he's saying is true, but shout out Jack's Media.
Yeah. That was at Jack's Media. They were on the other end with a lot of those phone calls. I had
Oh,
some upset
gosh.
phone calls. But when people fuck with our shit, man, it needs to, the law needs to be laid down.
Got to be handled.
I'm saying it's got to be handled. How did this start? Where did we get to this from?
DeSantis gonna be president, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. So DeSantis, I think he got a shot. I think that Bezos is definitely going to go for it. I think he's got nothing to lose. He's already got the whole scandal out about his wife. And
Yeah.
the fact that Trump had 4 wives,
Yeah. It don't matter anymore.
it doesn't matter anymore. None of this shit matters anymore. The morality of it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for the Dems either.
No.
I think the Dems have been exposed as well. I think they're just like, okay, we voted for Biden because...
He was the lesser of two evils.
Exactly. So we're willing to absolve these political figures for their, past transgressions, be them political or, I guess personal.
Yeah.
It's okay as long as they're not as bad as the other guys. So all you got to do is paint the other guys worse. They'll vote.
Yeah.
You think these Dems are going to stop using Amazon? Fuck no.
Nope.
Yeah, and
Republicans aren't.
I'm trying to find the words for this, but Trump said a lot of things that made him unelectable to anybody on the left. Then we elect Biden, and now we're at war with Afghanistan 2 weeks in.
Son, what is Biden like? Do people care? Does anybody care about anything? Like, I feel like the right wing news should be sticking everything to Biden, but nobody's even talking about it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Keep going. No. But what does that say?
Like, I think no news is good news.
Yes, but does that mean that the establishment is kind of on the same side regardless? Like they could, I think, didn't Biden say $2,000 is coming? No, there's no more $2,000. That's been walked back. Hey, we're not going to intervene in the Middle East anymore. We're going right back out there.
Yeah, I got a plan for the coronavirus. There's nothing we can
There's
do.
no plan. Fossil fuels. I'm not going to touch your fossil fuels. We're not going to do any more federal fracking. right? It's,
But this is every election. This is every president.
of
like,
course,
yeah.
but I guess what I'm saying is like the news, in the way that the news was reacting to Trump, and it was actually really successful in their reaction, right? Regardless if like Fox News is on Trump's side or not, it doesn't fucking matter. It's just they were getting fucking ratings by slamming the other side.
Yeah.
The right-wing news organizations have fodder to slam,
But
and
they're
it
not.
feels like they're not.
Yeah.
I kind of
Why?
feel, if I had to assume, I think it's just the way Biden's going about it. Because like with the fossil fuel situation, he's trying to make up the jobs that are going to be lost. So he's like, yeah, we're moving away from fossil fuels, but I'm going to put programs in place where re-job training and shit like that. So it's kind of like, hey, I'm not just going to change some shit like Trump did, like once he walked in, and you got to deal with it. I'm going to be like, all right, I'm about to make some changes, and I'm going to try to make it work for everybody.
Great point. My only concern is that usually the news doesn't care about context. Usually they're going to go off the most salacious line, but great point.
Mhm.
I just wonder if because Biden is part of the establishment, both parts of the political news aisle are just going, thank God, let's just get shit back to
calm down."
normal.
Yeah.
Calm shit down.
To the Bezos point, though, what I hope kind of might happen is people are like, all right, cool. Once we see that it's just back to politics as normal, no matter who we elect outside of the outsider, I want an outsider. I just don't want one as divisive. And that's where Bezos, Cuban, all those guys, to me, hit that middle swath of America that's like, nah, I fuck with this guy. He's
Who could-
different, but he's not divisive.
Who could not vote for Bezos? Like
That's
even,
the thing, yeah.
Even Bernie and them, right? Like Bernie and them are saying $15 minimum wage. So is Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Amazon is doing it to put pressure on their mom and pop competitors because the mom and pops can't pay 15, but Amazon definitely can.
And they're also replacing them with the robotic workforce.
Of course,
So, yeah,
exactly.
pay
They're going to
whatever
have
you want.
much less workforce.
Yeah.
So whoever is there will pay 15, of course. But if you're a $15 minimum wage loyalist, like the super left people are, they're satisfying it. If you're right wing, this is capitalism on steroids.
Yeah.
I cannot fathom either side, even the extremes of those sides, objecting to Bezos.
Yeah.
This is American industry. He's not, I don't think in any way, he's like kowtowing to China.
I think extreme left would still hate him because he's so capitalist, but moderate left?
They would.
in.
Don't get me wrong. They'd find a way, but he is still checking off some of their boxes.
Yeah.
I don't think he's running. I
Okay.
think maybe something's coming down the line where it's like he needs to separate himself,
Or it
from
could
the
fuck
from
with
the company
Amazon.
or something to save.
The other
I agree.
Yeah, I think that's what's coming.
What do you think it is?
I'm not sure. You know how they were trying to like break up these big organizations and shit like that, and you know how he like the majority of their money comes from that web shit that they do.
Whoa. You could be onto something. What if it's a legacy play? What if it's I'm going to get out of my company before
break it
it's
up.
broken up?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because I don't want to be the guy. Yeah, I think it's brilliant. I don't want to be the guy seated in that position and watch it. It's not going to crumble, but watch it not become what-
fracture.
Yes. And I understand that if you're at this point, you have this much money and all you're concerned about is legacy,
Mm.
I'm out.
You can only go down from here in his
Yes.
position right now. Now he gets to go back to Blue Origin, his spaceship. I used to see him at all. He goes to every event for Amazon Prime and wants to spend money for the content. Right, he wants to now compete with Netflix. Amazon's doing great with original content. So
Yes, they are.
he's got things to do.
It's crazy and a little bit scary how big and good all these companies are at everything. Like SpaceX is also Tesla, which they're going to outer space, and then they're going to do solar paneling, and that's going to be even bigger than the cars. Google's going to make they make cell phones, start as an internet provider. God knows what else they're going to do, self-driving cars. Like they're just, these
You
companies
heard-
are making everything.
Was it you that said it about
YouTube
Apple,
TV.
the Apple car?
Mhm.
No,
Oh,
it's
that
Miles.
That they're poaching.
Yeah, they got like this top engineer from Porsche.
Yeah.
So Apple's going for it. They're
That's
going
the
for
only
it.
way. Now all these companies aren't even competing within their sector. They're competing with the other giants.
Do you think that the reason why Bezos was able to step down is because Elon took over the #1 spot?
Maybe that lifted a burden off of him in a certain way, where it's like,
Yeah.
all right, you know what? Let's just get the fuck out of here anyway.
I think there might be something there.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Fact.
Well, Elon and Jeff have been going at it for years with SpaceX versus Blue Origin.
But Blue
Yeah.
Origin ain't doing nothing.
Nothing. Low
Where have
orbit.
what have they
this.
done?
No, he
What is-
trolls him. Elon trolls Bezos's.
There's a fundamental difference between those two, right? Where I think Bezos wants to take the resources, the two space ideas. Bezos wants to take resources from other planets, bring them to Earth, and Elon is like, nah, we're done with Earth. Let's go other places. I think that's the basic difference between the two.
I don't know, but I don't trust Bezos like that.
I fuck with Musk.
I
fucks
really
with
trust
Musk.
Elon more. Bezos looks like he's fucking evil genius.
Yo, he's Lex Luthor, dog.
Yeah, he's trying to kill Superman.
He is. Remember Superman's bad
Yeah.
guy?
He's trying to steal the moon, bro. That's what this
Yeah,
guy's trying to do.
100%.
Do you really think?
I don't trust him. I don't know why I fuck with Elon Musk. I think because he is more. I see him more as a genius than I do Bezos. Bezos, I'm like, oh, you're great at business. Elon, I'm like, oh, I see how you're a genius.
They're probably both.
I could be
equally
wrong.
bad.
He could be a fraud, but that's what I see.
They're probably both equally frauds.
Yeah.
How many
I think
ethical
they-
billionaires
Bezos ain't no fraud in terms of being like his business acumen off the fucking charts.
No,
clearly.
both of them are brilliant people.
Yeah.
There's no question. They're
It's
both
ethical
brilliant
is what I'm
people. And obviously, in order to be that wealthy, you need to have some kind of ethical shortcoming.
Yeah.
Right? Or we maybe just say that and justify it to ourselves. Maybe that's why we justify why we're not billionaires, is because we're ethical.
Yeah.
We're ethical human beings. I could never do that. But then, you say it all the time. It's like we have these cell phones made by fucking slaves.
Yeah.
Like our ethics don't stop us from that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's how they view themselves. They're like, hey, we're all just part of the system.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm directly asking the slaves to make or telling the slaves to make the phone, but
We just want to.
we're doing it indirectly.
We want to be removed from our immorality by as many degrees as possible.
Yeah, that's the American way. It's
Yeah.
like we know what fucked up shit has to happen in order for us to have $2 gas,
Yep.
but we don't want to stop the $2 gas.
Yeah. Just keep me away from it.
Yo, you know what's really funny is like we criticize the super left for that.
Yeah.
Like we go like this, we go like, yeah, everybody should have health care and everybody should have $15 minimum wage, but how are you going to pay for it? It's like, why don't we ask that question for $2 gas?
Oh shit. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like literally we have that. We're the spoiled brats
Yeah.
not asking how mommy and daddy paid for the house, how they paid for the vacation.
Yeah.
And we're totally fine with that.
Mhm.
All right, guys, we got to take a break for a second because we got to flex on you motherfuckers out there. Make sure you're living your life right, okay? And one way you could do that is you could live without chronic pain. Stop it, okay? It's more than a feeling of discomfort. It can affect your whole life. Many of my listeners probably have some type of pain that has prevented them from relaxing, sleeping, or stopped them from exercising. Perhaps it's been ongoing, okay, for a few weeks. Maybe it hasn't improved in months, no matter what treatment you've tried. Here's the reality. Omax Health. Now, if you're looking to get rid of nagging muscle, joint pain, cramping, or backaches immediately while providing long-lasting recovery, then you need to try the natural breakthrough pain relief solution, CryoFreeze, okay? Sport rolled on, developed by Omax Health. Omax's new sport formulation includes a deeply penetrating and potent punch of 8.5% of FDA-approved menthol levels to instantly ice out and block pain receptors, okay? You reduce inflammation and improve muscle and joint flexibility. The best part? This is 100% natural, okay? It is a remedy that works its magic within 5 minutes of application and relief that lasts up to 8 hours. Can you take in all that information? 100% natural, works within 5 minutes, lasts 8 fucking hours. You have to do this. This is a no-brainer. It's much longer than the over-the-counter products. You will immediately feel less stiffness and more mobility, okay? Omax Health is offering our listeners 20% off a full bottle of CryoFreeze Sport Pain Relief Roll-On, okay? This discount also applies towards any product site-wide. Just go to omaxhealth.com today and enter the code FLAGRANT. That is OMAX health.com and enter the code FLAGRANT to get 20% off CryoFreeze Sport
If you
site-wide.
are 30 or even getting close to 30, you got joint pain somewhere, you got a bad back, you got a bad shoulder, do something about it. Stop just sitting
Simple
there.
as that. Just simple as that. You know you're feeling it right now. You're sitting down, you're watching this, your hip hurts, your knee hurts, your shoulder hurts. It's that simple. Keep it natural, keep it healthy. Go to Omax Health right now, omaxhealth.com, and enter the code FLAGRANT. Get that 20% off and get your ass back out there on the court. Now let's get back to the show. Listen, we're in Miami. This is our first episode out here in Miami. I just fully grabbed my titty. I don't know if you were on my single for that, but like, I took a full handful of my titty, and I need to get off the bread.
No,
my
you're looking good. You're looking good.
I'm looking a little better. I'm looking a little
Little
better.
A
I gotta
cups
get a
outta
little
here,
cute.
son.
Yeah, you
Say
were-
what?
Get them little A cups out of here.
I know.
Get you a
I know.
solid
Yeah.
B
I got
right
them
the
here.
bosoms.
diesels,
Come
bro.
on.
You were struggling during Netflix, but it looks like you're bouncing back.
I'm bouncing. That fucking Chick-fil-A on the way down did not help me at all. And I will say this about Chick-fil-A, and I'm a New Yorker, so I don't have Chick-fil-A often. It is a treat if I get to have Chick-fil-A, but I don't know if it's company culture. I don't know what the fuck it is, but they have an unbelievable way to make you feel like you're in an episode of Cheers.
They're so
Yeah.
happy, dude. They're
And-
so happy.
But you have to instill that
yeah.
in a worker who's not making that much money. Like maybe this their HR is really good.
I think they have a way of like moving people up that is like a lot of employees end up owning their own Chick-fil-A's or something like that. Like
Right.
they do their best to practice
Bro.
like their religion essentially within their company. Like we
it's
treat people right.
unbelievably beautiful. It's
Yeah.
like it feels what Christianity is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really, they've modeled the store.
Chick-fil-A is the new Christianity.
I think it is.
Yeah.
The body of
Chicken.
Christ.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, it is absolutely delicious. But more than that, the greeter is kind.
Everybody's
and like
kind.
just walked outside and just handed us some napkins. Hey, I thought you might want some napkin. Like, you don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
He's this sweet old man. The people behind the desk, the lady behind the register
And
was
they're
kind.
good.
It's also partially a Southern thing, I think.
Okay, so they're going to be marginally more kind because they're in the South.
Yeah.
So comparatively for New Yorkers, Al's shaking his head. Go.
Not because like they're all over now. They're in New York.
I've been
Yeah.
in Philly,
Just as
notoriously unfriendly city,
yeah.
and I've been like, "Yo, this is the nicest
I
place
think
in
it's
Philly."
no Chick-fil-A is always above the mean in kindness.
And then judging based on the mean of that place
Yeah,
compared to your incredibly rude home state,
right. I
it's
went
going
to
to seem like that.
I went to
disparity.
Chick-fil-A in New York, and I was like, this seems kind of like any other like place in New York.
Now,
It didn't
Al,
feel exceptionally
Yeah,
nice.
compare it to
Al
the McDonald's
disagrees.
on West
Yeah.
4th.
Al's New Yorker.
Yeah.
He eats at McDonald's on West 4th. RIP, it's done.
Thank
right?
God.
Lesbos, find a new place to get your double fucking cheeseburger. You go to Chick-fil-A in New York, you're like, this place is incredibly kind and nice.
Yeah,
The
just because
people
like
are
they don't
nice.
spit in your fries. That's like
And
that's
they
his metric.
Greet you when you walk in.
Yeah,
They're super nice when you're taking your order, and like they brought the order out to my car. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, that shit is nice.
so that's it's
How
company
many
culture.
sauces you want?
Yeah.
Everywhere in New York puts you on a
Word, they
fucking
don't
allowance.
charge you
Son,
for
think about this.
sauces and shit like
Think
that.
about how hard it is for us. Let's say we're doing like a regular work day, right? Think about how hard it is just for us
Yeah.
to be nice to one another
Oh, it's so
and
hard.
kind.
So hard.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we can do it in moments, but the entire day with every single person that we interact with, and that is your job to interact, and you are nice and charming and sweet, no roll in the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
There is an insane company culture. I don't know who the fucking CEO of that company is,
Yeah.
but they found a way.
Our next president, that's who it is.
I think he's
Yeah.
got to run for president.
That's how he got away with like all the little gay shit that they had going on.
When it wasn't gay at all.
I mean,
it was
he,
the opposite.
he was
Yeah,
against,
yeah,
he
yeah.
was against homosexuality, and people still were eating at Chick-fil-A.
Bro, I bet gay people feel welcome at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Ooh, the
I-
food's so good, and the service is so great.
I
So
knew a gay
he
kid that used
could-
to work there.
Really?
Yeah.
And what was his argument?
Mark.
He was
I used to work there.
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
use it right. No, his he was just
that
like
was his boyfriend.
he like kind of rationalized it in like an abstract way. Where it was like, oh well, they were donating money to a company or to an organization that was against gay stuff, so they weren't really having a company statement.
Right.
And everyone there is nice to me, so I don't care. And I was
Dude,
like,
I'm telling you, he could fucking win. He could win, dude.
Dan Cathy.
Is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Dan Cathy could possibly win because obviously he's going to get that evangelical vote.
Ooh.
He's going to get the conservative vote because he is a conservative religious man.
Mhm.
And
This is how principled they are. They have a Chick-fil-A inside the Atlanta Falcons Stadium. Not open on Sundays.
unbelievable.
Yeah, they're never open on Sunday.
So it's
Open
there
for concerts, open for any other event. If it's
Oh
Monday
my
Night Football, we're open.
Yeah.
Sunday, no.
They lose 1/7 of their revenue.
That's wild, dog.
Unbelievable.
And if you're at the fucking Falcons football stadium, those are your biggest days.
Son,
Those 8 days.
Yeah.
we've
Nope.
said this on the podcast before, I'm sure, but there is nothing more heartbreaking than on a Sunday when you're hungover after you did a gig in Nashville, Tennessee, and you're at the airport and you see that
Oh,
Chick-fil-A
bruh.
sign in the distance. You don't notice it's closed.
And you trick
It's that-
yourself into smelling the fries. It's like a mirage.
It is a
Yep.
mirage, dude. And you're like, I already ate the tenders. I already consumed them. And then finding out it's fucking closed on Sunday.
I think it helps their business.
It creates that scarcity.
Ooh, yeah.
Because like if I'm passing one and it's not a Sunday, I'm like, fuck, I don't know when's the next time I'm past one, so I
got
have
it,
to
yeah.
get it.
Yo, that's a great point because
If
fast
I know
food.
it's just McDonald's is like,
Whoa.
I can get that whenever.
And
Fast
when
food
you
is based on the idea that you can have whatever you want when you want
Yeah.
immediately.
McDonald's is a slutty girl.
It's a slut.
yeah.
And Chick-fil-A is a twin on red.
Yeah, that's a Reddit OnlyFans. That's
That's a
what
Reddit
it is.
OnlyFans. Okay, so let's do some feelings, no facts,
All
real
right,
quick.
let's
How
do
about this, Al? You want to send us through some feelings, no facts, real quick?
Sure. I did just want to give a shout out to the person who helped me find a fucking apartment, Tony Billy, his cousin. He's a realtor here, and
Man, do that shit on your own.
no,
time.
wait.
Hey, this WTF Media Studios,
Wait,
bro.
wait.
Hey, help me find an
But the-
apartment.
yeah,
I'm
this is
out here
feeling-
getting
the
raped.
You get rinsed out.
Raped.
Yeah.
Okay,
the
shit.
funniest-
Look at
Funniest
Dove. Look at
thing I
Dove
heard,
taking that
though.
L in his face,
Son.
dog. You can see in his eyes he got fucked.
Feeling like a Marilyn Manson ex right now. out here.
that's nice. A little
Allegedly.
penthouse is pretty nice.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing I heard, so he's taking me through this place. It's a pretty new building, and he's like, "Oh," and I guess he didn't realize like part of the ceiling wasn't painted. He was like, "Oh, what's in right now? Exposed cement."
No way.
So he said, "Exposed cement is in right now because one of the rooms wasn't."
Motherfucker
painted
said
and shit."
asbestos is in. How do you hit you with the asbestos
Yeah.
is in,
Wear
bro?
your mask inside. Yeah. You know, it's not safe out there. You
Son,
know?
why we gotta wear a mask? And when we were in elementary, just breathing in cancer walls, they didn't say wear a mask at all, huh?
Yeah.
That's why our
fuck it,
test
yeah.
scores are so low.
Son, that's a great point.
Son, asbestos, lead paint. We just been getting fucked up.
Yeah.
12 years straight.
And we supposed to be scared of corona.
Popcorn ceilings.
Yeah. We all got the HIV too, probably.
Son, you almost
saw
spilled the whole
empty,
coffee,
empty.
son. Thank God.
Again? Do you
I
remember
saw that
this?
happen in slow mo.
Come on, son.
Okay,
Yeah.
which is a retarded gay person.
Oh, I thought that was I thought that was Dove's cousin. Slow-mo.
Slow Muhammad.
Slow mo. Okay, let's go. Feelings, no facts, Al.
So Chatty House, what's it called?
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse.
Chatty house.
Chatty house. Chatty house.
You really demeaned it, dog. I don't even want to
Yeah.
be on it anymore.
Bro, I was a guy that heard the news that's like relaying it. You know?
Oh yeah, I think I heard. But yeah, they got it
the stu-
evaluated at $1 billion. How you guys feel about that?
$1 billion.
$1 billion. Yeah.
That don't even seem like much to me. Son, that's Instagram 15 years ago, $1 billion. Get with the times.
oh, 15.
Motherfucking WhatsApp was 9 billion. Clubhouse, you little piddly ass billion. Bitch ass fucking Clubhouse.
Yo, piddly
Hey,
ass.
hey, that-
Sometimes Akash talks so southern, it's crazy.
Hey.
Piddly ass? How you even spell that?
That shit is Piddly. Shit piddly. That shit man piddly.
I never heard that word.
Nah, but when you say it, you know what it means.
Yeah.
Yo.
The way he said it.
Yeah, that's your
Piddly
little
ass a
piddly ass
billion, dog.
savings. Hey, that's your little piddly ass savings you got over there. That's what people think of my Beamer, bro. Can I even call it a Beamer, dude?
Nah, that shit is
That's
a beam.
that's a
Now you got the beaner, bro.
Beamer.
Son,
All right,
billion.
all
That's
right.
embarrassing.
$1 billion. Yeah, because dude, this whole thing is a fucking scam. Dude, all these evaluations are a fucking scam. They're just built based on the amount of consumers for the app, so the amount of like people who are signed up, subscribers, whatever you want to talk about. But you can buy subscribers essentially. So they just use all the money that these VCs give them to bump up the subscribers, and then they essentially like flip that subscriber rate into getting more money from a new like round of investors. Go,
Sorry, finish, and then I have a question.
all I'm saying is the whole thing is a hustle, and
And
then
then
you
they
take that new money.
IPO and then they get all the money from other people.
Exactly. You take that new money and you go, look, you see what we're doing? We're killing it with all these subscribers because the only thing that matters is subscribers, right? You take that new money from the new Series 2 investors, right? And then you go and you flip that into an IPO, and then you get the suckers, which are us, the retail investors, to pay you or to pay them. So all the VC guys get paid off, and then we're stuck with this IPO that flatlines because they don't actually have a product. Now, I do think Clubhouse might be a little different. in terms of people and operating on the platform itself. It seems like it's something novel, and it seems like something
We might have to
people
figure out how to use Clubhouse.
are into.
So
Real quick question. Sorry to interrupt. Do you know who I think might have a piece that got offered a piece early on in this process? Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart.
yeah, he did.
I knew it because he tweeted about how one tweet that I saw, he was like,
Yeah.
I'm on Clubhouse right now. This is it. This is the future of interacting
Yeah.
with fans. This is how you do it. And I always was like, Kevin Hart doesn't do shit like that. And then when you were talking about it, I was like, oh, they must have given him a piece because they know he will get more subscribers and that drives the valuation up.
Yeah. Shout out
It's
to
a great
Kevin Hart,
investment.
by the way, for your apology. I accept. I accept your apology.
We could
See
use
you
a
on
piece of that
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse money.
We dress like Jumanji right now. No, but Kev has a new show coming out on Sirius XM. This is quite similar to Inside Jokes, our show. And
in name.
and then he named it
same.
Inside Jokes as well. So I was like, come on, bro. You can't even change the name. Like, I get there's similar concepts. I'm totally fine with that, you know. But like naming it the same shit, like we don't have millions of views on that bitch. And he was cool enough to put out an apology and be like, yo, my bad. I'm sorry about this. And we're going to change the name.
Yeah, that was
So
that was ill.
that was a really, I thought, cool thing, stand-up thing. And at the end of the day, you know, we are comics, and this is all we have. We have our ideas. And, you know, it's cool to see. I think a lot of people don't realize, like, when you're doing a show with a network, there's a rollout planned.
Yeah.
And to stop a rollout like that and to stop putting out the, you know, the pictures and images of what this show is, it's costly. And he was willing to do that. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah. That's a stand-up thing to do.
And I'm not saying that Kev was out there looking at the show going, hey, we should name it Inside Jokes. But there is somebody on his team
Yeah.
that for sure Googled it. I mean, you have to do your due diligence. I can't imagine somebody would work for him and not do their due diligence in terms of the project. And I'm sure Kevin spoke to him and was like, yo, you need to do your fucking job. It's your fucking job to make sure this shit don't exist already and it already popping.
It might not even have that conversation. It might have just been you're fired.
That is also true.
That might have been the combo. You're done.
Exactly. Well, we're hiring over here at Schultz.
Clearly, you're familiar with us.
You love our work? You want to come on board? We'll have a conversation. All right, guys, we're going to take a break for a second because your balls look atrocious. Okay? It's Miami. It might not be summer, but we're in the summer right now, so we're keeping it cute down there. And the way that we keep it cute down there is with machetes. No, I'm just kidding. We keep it cute with Manscaped, all right? Manscaped, you already know what the deal is. If you don't, you're out of your mind. This is the one-stop shop to make your dick look absolutely amazing, all right? You have the grooming kits. You got the Lawnmower 3.0. You got the special lotions. You've got everything in there. I swear to God, I could go through each product, but I'm telling you right now, this is going to save you fucking time and make your dick look delicious. And that's exactly what you want when you're out there as a man in this world, a delicious dick. So the best way to get a delicious dick is you go to manscaped.com, okay? You go to manscaped.com/flagrant, matter of fact. And you know what? You're going to get 20% off and free shipping. That's what you do. Manscaped.com/flagrant, 20% off, free shipping, every product they have in the store. You save yourself some fucking time and make your dick look delicious. I'm telling you, back in the day, you're using just a razor to shave your balls. You're not using a trimmer or anything like that.
Wow.
You'd be there for 30 minutes. 30 fucking minutes.
Wrist nicks and cuts.
Nicks and cuts. Your dick is all sliced up.
Son.
Can't do it. You
Can't,
can't
bro.
do it. I promise you, you go to manscaped.com, have a delicious dick. Make sure it's /flagrant. Get that 20% off and free shipping. Now let's get back to the show. All right, Al, you want to take us through?
Oh, Wendy Williams says she hooked up with Method Man.
You know what bothers me about this is I hate that anytime a black man gets successful, they try to make him gay. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate it.
So also, Akash had a great take about the Marilyn
Manson shit.
Manson accusers.
I said, how vindicated do you think all these girls' fathers must have felt? Like, I've been warning you about
Horrified
this.
at what their daughters went through, but at the same time, they're like, I didn't tell you. Allegedly.
Can't trust a guy that wears face makeup. I tried to tell you.
I mean, wild ass boy. Allegedly. All these things are alleged.
Nah, there's a lot of stories that came out.
A lot of stories that came out. You know what I mean? Army Hammer. There was crazy shit that came out with him. We thought it was all a joke when we recorded.
Yeah.
And then the images coming out where he's burning these chicks.
Yeah.
Maybe he was just trying to start a black fraternity and he was letting in white women.
Yeah. Possible.
Yo, the Q dogs.
Yo.
Army Hammer's just a Q dog.
There's a
and
picture of him
heart.
standing over them like this.
Yeah, Omega, baby. That's all it is.
All right, what else we got out?
Did we talk about Ghislaine Maxwell?
Ghislaine Maxwell, apparently her lawyers are just grasping at everything, and they're trying to get her case thrown out because the jury selection or whatever, the jurors weren't diverse enough.
Yeah, you know what? That wasn't diverse enough. The bitches that you were feeding to Epstein. You know, how about throwing some old hoes in there? That'd be nice if they were diverse in terms of age. That'd be
Switch it
great.
up.
That's the
Switch it up a
beauty.
little.
That's the beauty of identity politics, though, is that you can use it as a tool to just get anything removed or like as an attack on something that you don't like. You know what I mean? Like this is what happened with Wall Street Bets. Is that
Yeah, they started calling them alt-right.
they had a Discord.
This is crazy.
Where like basically they say the word retard and like they call each other like smooth brain and like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Smooth brain.
Yeah. And they have like just like these insults to each other, like, man, I'm autistic, blah, blah, blah. And that's like their culture. And so as a way to censor the Discord, is they said, oh, it's hate speech. We pulled it off Discord.
There's a specific thing that they pulled off, actually. They had some sort of like word generator that was in the Discord. So it was something automated. It wasn't even what the people were saying. It was an automated thing that ended up saying the N-word.
So it's some bot in there.
It was a bot, but it wasn't a bot as in like, I'm going to be a fake subscriber. It was some sort of like, remember when you can like find your rap name and you type something in and then it shoots out?
Yeah.
It was something like, it was super removed from people actually saying things. It wasn't even that they're using the word retard, etc. It was some sort of automated program spit out, I guess, the N-word or another offensive word. And based on that, they shut down the Discord. And then they got it back up, by the way. And probably because of Elon said corporate whatever got to Discord as well. Shame.
But that's
the
just
goat,
like,
yo.
that's just
But
using
that's just
identity
what they do.
politics to
And
like
then,
pull
bro,
shit off.
it's
like,
not only identity politics, dude. That's like, I mean, that's like classic, like silencing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right? I mean, that's what Jimmy Kimmel was doing, essentially.
Oh,
You see his little fucking corporate tap dance.
Oh,
The Russian
bots.
interference behind Wall Street Bets is like, you are fucking tap dancing, dude. You are tap dancing for corporate interests. You fucking phony.
Yeah.
And then Jon Stewart supported. Jon Stewart, the
Oh my
fucking goat,
gosh.
one of the most pure guys from everything I've heard.
Yeah.
He's tweeted in support of Wall Street Bets. And then Kimmel was like, at real Donald Trump, is that you? Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
That shit was trash. Someone commented and took his blackface picture, sent it to him, and goes, Jimmy Kimmel, is this you? I was like, yeah, that's fine.
It's a shame that that's when he was funniest.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
It's hard, but Blackface Jimmy was so much funnier.
Yeah.
And he's such a fucking... It's like, you don't have enough money, Jimmy?
Well,
you don't
Black-
have enough money, dude, to have some fucking integrity, dude?
Yeah.
It is mind-boggling that you want to be invited to the party that much.
He hosts Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. That's how much money this guy has.
He's also working on that show?
Yeah, he hosts
Oh,
it.
he's just part of the system. They
That's
gotta
more
you know
embarrassing
what?
than anything.
You know what it is? They got dirt on him.
Oh.
They have to. They have to have some Epstein-esque tape on him because there's no way a guy who is actually funny,
Yeah,
like a
that's
guy
the
who is
thing.
actually a fucking hilarious dude.
The
and
guy show
creative.
stuff was fun.
Guy show was good.
Man
Crank
Show?
Yankers was good. There's
That
a
was
bunch of
him?
these. Yeah. So I'm almost positive we should look up. But he was a funny fuck, and he was actually really good. If you listen to like the earlier Kimmel interviews and stuff, he was good.
Yeah.
He could carry an interview well.
Yep.
And to see him he was Crank Yankers, right?
Yeah, him and Adam Carolla.
Yep. And he to become a complete corporate fucking shill.
I wonder if they're still cool. Because Corolla doing his own thing.
Nah, that's a wild boy. He's out there. I doubt that. I doubt that.
Oh, yeah. They start chasing the money, man. And
But
they just go after the
don't you
check.
get enough
But is
money?
it the money or is it the acceptance from that peer group of this is
And
what they
son, you
celebrate?
can't even go to parties no more. It's like the stupidest thing to want to
But
go
if
to the
you're
party.
hosting Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you're just chasing the check.
Yeah, the answer is him, bro.
I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. I think it's got to be more than money. They got to have something bad on him. I bet you the blackface thing is
Tip of the
minimal.
iceberg?
Yeah, it's got to be minimal.
Yeah.
It's got to be something so bad that he's willing to look like a complete sellout, knowing full well they're going to call him a sellout. Like knowing full well,
But now
your
he's-
peers are going to call
because
you
he's
a
going
sellout.
out of his way. Like if he's hosting a show and he says the Russia shit, it's like, okay, yeah, someone put that in teleprompter, said tell him what to say. But he's going out on Twitter like attacking Jon Stewart for what?
And he's also
That's what makes me think even more. That's what makes me think even more. He has to double down, or he's got that much of an ego where he was just getting fucking trashed on Twitter for saying the Russiagate thing. Or
well, he
Russian
deleted
influence.
the Stewart comment. He
He did?
deleted that, yeah.
Pussy.
Yeah. Absolute pussy.
Man, this guy, it's sad. I know we're talking right now to a lot of people that only know Kimmel as like the late version of Kimmel,
Yeah.
and they're like, "What do you mean he's funny?" Like their mind is blown that we could be defending this
Yeah.
guy. But there was a time where he was an actually funny guy, And it's such a fucking shame to see someone go from like real talent and hilarity to corporate shill just after they have money. I don't even mind if you're broke and you do it to get paid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? If one of my friends that has nothing goes for it, okay, fine. But to be paid to be a multimillionaire?
Can you look up his net worth? Sorry. just-
Please
you
don't.
mind?
It's going to piss me off even more. But no,
No,
obviously
but
look
to
it up.
prove the point, he's got to be worth tens of millions.
Yeah.
I even understand to a degree doing it to keep your ABC show on the air initially because you don't want to feel like a failure on the biggest stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says here $50 million net worth.
It's too much.
I don't know if that's
You don't need
inflated,
it.
but
You don't need it.
Anyway, that shit going to be gone. You started a comedy club.
Shout out to Rihanna. She did more for Indians than Gandhi.
Oh, yeah. She talking about them farmers, bro.
Yeah, bro.
bro, Akash
yeah,
and Rihanna, bro.
Yo, RIP to her mentions because them shits are gonna be nuts.
Yeah,
bro.
it'll be full. But low key, you
Literally.
need to keep that hair coming in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yo, you right. Yo.
What?
Hey, I'm
Rihanna's weave ain't coming from Rihanna. Okay? She got to go to the source.
Yeah.
True.
She got to make sure them farmers
True.
are doing what they got to do.
Well,
Talk about growing
Rihanna's
crops,
from
grow
the.
that hair.
She's
That's
from
the most
she's,
valuable crop in India. dude.
That's a cash crop, yeah. No, but she's West Indies, and so she's got to take care of her actual Indies. You know what I mean? That's
Oh,
true.
R.I.P. to Screech.
That's true, bro.
Yo, R.I.P. to Screech, bro.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to Screech.
He's kind of a legend.
Yeah.
Hey, he probably better off. Yeah, I mean, Screech been dead for about 15
Downhill,
years.
bro. Downhill.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
GameStop.
Yeah.
Motherfucker,
Sell.
GameStop, dog. Had a
I gotta
heyday
feel
in the
bad for
80s and
Screech,
90s.
dog.
Just died.
You didn't care when he was alive, putting
Yeah,
out
stop
sex
it with
tapes
that
to stay
fake
relevant.
Karen.
he was
Motherfucker
still, he
was-
was still a legend.
I got to roast
I
him
think
once.
he was the first
Really?
nerd that people kind of like thought was cool.
Nah,
He
no
was
one
never
thought he
cool.
was cool, B.
People dressed up as him.
Urkel?
For,
Yeah, you dress up as things you want to mock.
Yeah.
Isn't Urkel the first nerd? People
Nah,
like?
Screech was before Urkel.
Oh,
I
really?
mean, Revenge of the Nerds was the first.
Yeah.
Mm.
Dummy.
100%.
Dummy. Those nerds are getting revenge. Screech ain't getting no revenge. You know what I mean?
My motherfucker's dead. Goddamn.
Oh,
All right.
speaking of, actually, this is actually a wild story.
Yep.
This is a teenager that emerged from a 10-month coma
Okay.
last week that had
Okay.
no knowledge of the pandemic.
Oh.
So the kid wakes up from a coma.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And everybody's. I
And
don't
they're like-
believe this. Is this real?
According to the Guardian. That's
What were
it
they have?
says.
What were they in a coma for?
Got hit by a car, 19-year-old in England.
Oh yeah.
Wakes up. Pandemic?
That's kind of lit, to be honest. To sleep through quarantine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all like the fucking Black Lives Matter shit. People going wild. Skip
Them little
that.
ass European cars really gonna do damage like that, bro?
You can talk about Dove's Mini Cooper like that?
You
Really?
know, I'm just saying, all them little Fiat. You got hit by a Fiat and you can't just flick that off you?
Actually, no. He said it was a BMW.
Yo, that's disrespectful, bro.
That's what the
That
By the
was
way,
disrespectful.
That's what the article
BMW makes
said.
Mini Cooper. Just saying.
Wow, he said that like fuck you. Did you hear the fucking animosity?
Yeah, he called you.
My man was
called you the
He
F
had
word
the
right there.
animos.
Same.
Damn, son, that shit really hurt me, bro. So you got like the Toyota to the Lexus?
Wow. He's the old Navy. He's the old Navy
Called
to
you a
Banana
pussy.
Republic.
Yo,
Yeah.
got the convertible
he said,
in
"Bust it
Miami,
wide
though?"
Open, Dove, you
Yeah.
pussy.
Who got the convertible though?
Ah,
You can't fit in the hardtop. You need the convertible.
yeah.
Come on.
You're Old Navy, bro. You're old
What if he
Navy.
had a moonroof with just his nose sticking out?
All right. Last one. Feelings, no facts. Can we talk about this Chinese COVID test? Were they going straight for the giggy? Aren't they going for the
Hey,
giggy?
hold on. Did we talk about how right we were about Bill Belichick?
But we did already. We said
Did
the
was that-
Patriot
Did we
way.
keep that or did we cut that?
Nah, I think that's in it.
Okay.
But let's talk about that giggy.
Okay.
That is true. They're going straight for the giggy.
Yeah,
right?
I don't understand why.
Huh?
How much more accurate can it be?
Son, bro. It's Chinese, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It's the Chinese government. They know what they're doing, bro. They started, they can finish it. They're going right up the giggy, man. Sometimes you can miss mucus, but you can never miss giggy.
That's true.
Yo, for you, they just test your finger, probably.
Because I scratch so much,
Yeah.
you can just go under my middle nail.
Yeah, exactly.
What? That's
Dude,
gross?
That's what they're doing when they do the pedicure, bro.
You think it's gross if I do this?
Oh, that's actually
Smile
gross.
afterwards?
Jeez, don't smile.
G's up, bro.
He just gave himself a dirty Sanchez. Bro.
But do you think, first of all, how did they figure out this new technique?
That's interesting.
Like, this is clinical trials. They're just poking all the different orifices in your body until they find out which one has the
China,
most
dog. They
accurate.
do whatever the fuck
corona.
they want.
Is this real that they're really doing that?
There's no way, right?
They can't be. I mean, I believe it because it's China. There's nothing I wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
You think when Chinese cars are testing safety, instead of a dummy, they just put citizens in fucking cars? Because who cares less about their citizens than China?
Oh, I thought you were saying like try to drive your best.
Oh man.
Here come the blogs. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's move on. I think it's time for we have our discussion.
You wanna
Let's talk
talk-
about this GameStop. I'll break it down real quickly. This is real quick. If anybody doesn't know what's going on, I'm sure you've heard about it. But GameStop. Okay. GameStop. Oh my God. I already fucked it up.
we
So
go.
GameStop was this brick and mortar video game store, retail store that a lot of us went to when we were younger to buy video games. You buy some magazines, etc. You could return video games. They never gave you anything for the video
Yeah.
game. You buy a
Fucking embarrassing.
it was $50 video game. You get $3, and you took that shit, and they looked at you like, "Yeah, you're gonna take it, bitch."
Yeah.
They really did.
They did.
Yeah.
They really did.
Like Dove when he's negotiating your apartment.
Killed us.
I don't know who was offended by that. Me or Dove?
No, we suffered together on that one.
All right, fine. We suffered together. Point is, they were looking like they were going to go out of business. Obviously, in the future, they most likely are because people aren't buying video games in the same way that they used to buy in the past. So there are these hedge funds. Hedge funds are these conglomerates of invested capital. So there are these people who manage billions and sometimes trillions of dollars of wealthy people's money, and they throw it at specific things and looking to make huge margins on their investments, right? So it's not as safe as the average maybe retail investor who just invests in, you know, the Dow or the Vanguard account, S&P, this kind of NASDAQ, whatever. And one of the things they do is short a stock. So shorting a stock is essentially, we were doing this example like with sneakers, but basically you bet on the stock going down. And the way you bet on a stock going down is you borrow the stock, you then sell it to somebody else at the price it's currently at, and then you ideally pay for that stock from the person that you borrowed it from at a new lower price
So you can make profit.
so that you can make the difference of the profit. And what a lot of times these hedge funds do is they actually drive down the value of that stock.
Yeah.
So with GameStop or maybe something else, they would say, hey, this company's going out of business. It's about to bust. They get their friends in the media to also say those things. And they get this entire frenzy going of people who are selling that stock,
Yeah.
right? And then it tanks the stock. And ideally, the company goes belly up. Right? It goes out of business and they never even have to pay back.
100% profit.
Exactly. Remember, go.
What do the companies get out of it by loaning the stock out?
So it's not the company that's loaning it. That stock exists. So for example, I could just own some GameStop stock, right? So then let's say, for example, right, I'm letting you borrow my GameStop stock, right?
Okay.
And you go, I'd like to borrow it knowing that you're going to go sell it. And I go, fine, but you got to pay me back in a month
Okay.
or 2 weeks or whatever we
Who-
decide that window
Who are they
is.
borrowing from?
I think it's the same way as when you buy stock on the internet anyway. Like when you buy like some shares of silver or whatever, like you're just
And I
going
think
through a
you
broker.
also get paid a fee if you are the lendee.
You
the
are.
person who lends or the lender.
Exactly. And
You
that's-
get a little fee while that person is borrowing.
And the longer that you don't pay for that stock, remember, you've borrowed it from me and you're paying a fee
It's like
to hold
interest
on
on a
to
loan.
it.
Interest. So.
Exactly. And the longer you don't pay me, the more you got to pay.
Shit is a VIG.
Exactly. So eventually, what happens is you have this Wall Street Bets, right? You have this Reddit community that goes, oh my God, GameStop, they're trying to short to oblivion. They're trying to destroy this company.
And
Okay?
it's Reddit, so it's a bunch of fucking dorks who love GameStop probably.
Sure, exactly. They spent their childhood
Reddit is
there.
cool. I fuck with
Yo, shouts to Reddit. But they spent their childhood there. And it really, you know, they understand that Reddit employs, not Reddit, that GameStop employs 14,000 people. And they see a fucking greedy, parasitic hedge fund trying to make all 14,000 of those people unemployed for their own personal gain. It's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
Okay? Shouts to everybody in that Reddit community.
You're right.
Real
Reddit is
talk.
Cool.
Honestly, like that shit is noble. Like that shit is brave. Like I love that shit.
No, I
Hold
love
the line. Hold.
Yeah.
Hold that fucking line.
Talk about me, bro. I'm a partial
Let's
owner.
go.
I'm a partial owner in GameStop.
Oops.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically what they did is they saw that GameStop was incredibly over shorted. So matter of fact, more of their stock was shorted than existed. That's how shorted the stock was. So they're like, oh my God, these piece of shit parasite hedge fund douchebags are trying to drive this stock into the ground so they can get all that fucking profit off the short. We're not having it. Let's band together and let's start buying up the GameStop stock. It's really hard to say. Buying up GME, we'll call it. Buying up GME, and they'll drive the price up. They won't be able to make any money on the short. And if we can keep on driving it up, they're going to lose money and have to pay that VIG, that interest that you were talking about. And then they might lose so much money, they'll just have to buy the stock itself.
And they'll lose tons of money.
Exactly. And when you have to buy the stock itself, what happens when you buy stock?
Price goes up.
Price goes up. It's called a short squeeze. So they short squeezed GME. They short squeeze GameStop, right? And the price kept on going up. There's other things that also helped it going up, and we can get into that. And the app that a lot of these people were using to buy was on Robinhood, right? Robinhood is this app. The whole idea of the app is steal from the rich, give to the poor. Obviously, Robinhood. And what happened with Robinhood is they stopped allowing people to buy the stock and only allowed them to sell it.
Cucks.
Cucks.
Yeah.
Cucks right
100%.
I use Robinhood that day that they stopped it. In the morning, you couldn't even log on to your account.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So,
About an hour, I couldn't even get to.
and that's fucked up because this is your money.
Yeah.
It's not like this is a video game you're
Yeah.
playing. This is your actual money. You're like, yo, fam, don't fuck with my money. This is a very different situation when you're messing with people's hard-earned cash here, right?
100%.
And the reason why this gets a little conspiratorial is the way that Robinhood makes money is that it shares the investors' data. Investors are you guys, right? Me, myself included, our data with hedge funds. So all of our data of our investments, it shares with hedge funds, and they get it before the general public get it. And that's how hedge funds can beat us on all the trades because they know what the fuck we're doing before the average people do. So if Robinhood is loyal to these hedge funds and these hedge funds are getting brutalized by a short squeeze, and then all of a sudden you can't buy more stock from GME, that only helps the hedge funds that are getting brutalized by the short squeeze. So people are like, oh my God, did fraud happen here? This is fucking disgusting. Are you on their side? There's other people are saying that Robinhood just ran out of money and you have to have a certain amount of money to maintain all the trades that are happening.
Now Robinhood limits the amount of GME you're allowed to buy.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And they used to not put any
Limit it
limits on
at all.
anything.
They just took it off today, actually.
Oh, they did?
And now that it's down to $100 and nobody's buying it anymore, they're like, oh, you can trade freely. And so the people who are going, this is fraud between obviously the hedge funds and Robinhood have a point. And then there's other people that are saying Robinhood just doesn't have enough money to like maintain all the bets that are essentially going on their platform because it is gambling at this point in time. So they need, just like a bank needs 10% of its reserves in order to function as a bank. So if you have $100 million in a bank, they got to keep 10 million by law. I think there is a law for, Robinhood and these other kind of like brokerage firms as well. But who knows exactly. Anyway, we're going to speak to an expert about all this stuff, but that's basically what happened. And fucking kudos to Wall Street Bets and the Redditors and like kudos to everybody on social media. It's just fucking dope to see that happen. Like it's nice to see institutions get punched in the mouth every once in a while.
Yeah.
It didn't chop their heads off, but it's almost like in the movie 300, you know, when he throws the spear at the Persian king and it just nicks his cheek and he starts to bleed a little bit. And like, that's what you needed. You just want to see them fucking bleed once.
Yeah.
Right? After being abused by them for fucking years.
And it was done by the people.
It was done by the people. And it's just great to fucking see, man. So anyway, we're going to talk to somebody right now. Without further ado, let's talk to maybe the most flagrant man in the investment business. And there are a lot of flagrant motherfuckers in that business.
No,
but
this the
promise
guy.
you, this might be the most. Let's give it up to our guest today to explain all this nonsense, ask a few questions to Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street. Here we are with our special guest. Who better to talk about the volatility of the market than the Wolf of Wall Street himself? Jordan Belfort is in the building. Welcome to Flagrant 2. It's good to finally talk. We've been talking on Instagram for a little bit, figuring out when we were going to do a podcast. I think this is the perfect time. Are you short on GameStop?
I'm out. I'm not in GameStop because at this point, and after I put out a video like I did yesterday, it would be really unethical for me to have either been long or short. So I put out a message of encouragement and support to people overall, not about GameStop, just about their overall venture to stick it to the man and just to stay strong. So the answer is no. I am not short GameStop, AMC, or any of those stocks, nor am I long, nor have I ever been long any of those stocks. So I'm out of it completely.
Okay.
Feds are listening.
The
I
feds
wish
are-
I was long though at the bottom. I wish I would have been long at the bottom though. I wish I was.
Now, okay, we gotta figure it out because this is a new Jordan Belfort talking right now. If this was back in the day, if this was, during the times of the movie that we all saw, would you be looking for this space in the market? Would you be the guy trying to find a way how to make these huge sums of money off of volatility?
Well, that's what I did. Reddit is Wall Street Bets is a modified form of what Stratton was, except their cause is far more pure than my cause was. Like I think there's it's a very odd thing. So if you look I'm at this point, Wall Street Bets has evolved into something that it probably did not start off as. I'm sure the original people on there, from what I see, not the digger right deep, were really, had a very pure intention in mind. And also, by virtue of the name itself, it wasn't about serious value investing. It was everyone knew the risks they were getting involved in. They were making bets, and some of the the vernacular used is hysterical. They call themselves retards, and it's really wild. I mean, the culture that they no, like I'll stay retarded longer than it. No, it's really interesting. So I think that it had a really pure intention. They have a genuine distrust for Wall Street and most institutions.
Right.
And I think that what happened is many other people now have gotten on that bandwagon, probably far less interested in the social aspect as much as making a quick buck on it. Okay. So, but all things being equal, what they've done is very, very similar to what I did, where I would get involved, I'd find the company that I liked, and I get behind it and I pump it up. The difference is then they weren't doing it to manipulate as much as start off as a sort of a social cause. And also, I think they believed in it, that they found a good short squeeze, which is a reason to buy a stock. So I think their initial motives were pure.
Okay. Now, what are the chances that there aren't hedge funds that are also invested in other hedge funds being squeezed out by shorting GameStop? I mean, people have been looking at this as if it's just retail investors, but I find it hard to believe that there's not some hedge fund that use their sophisticated algorithm to go out there and be like, no, it's probably a good idea that we pump this stock up as well.
You wouldn't need an algorithm. Just have someone. If I was a hedge fund, I'm sure this happens, and it's happening. At least it will certainly be happening going forward. They have people full time in these chat rooms gathering intelligence. Wall Street is based on having intelligence. These hedge funds operate, especially the short sellers themselves, rely on this type of intelligence. They send in spies and moles. And I mean, I had a friend that was a top short seller, like very much like he's passed away. He was best friends with the guy from Citron, an old friend of mine. He's no longer around. And these guys, the lengths they would go to find out dirt on companies is unbelievable. They'll have people counting the number of trucks leaving a warehouse to see if it stacks up to the amount they say they're shipping. It's really, that's how detailed. They have like drones flying over and stuff like that. It's really in-depth because they're betting on that, that fundamentally a company is basically way overvalued, and they want to prove that there's fraud, hopefully, because then they can really precipitate a downfall. The issue is that the type of shorts that are involved in this aggressive shorting, they're very different than the normal shorts that you see in the market. And it's very expensive to stay short. So they have to be right very quickly. It's not a matter of being right. They're almost always right in the long run, but they have to be right quickly or else they'll lose too much in margin interest and stock loan. So it's a pretty dicey game.
So to the average person, like that's something that I've noticed that what's happening right now is that people are throwing around these terms that for a Wall Street investor are very common terms, but you hear these things like margin and short, et cetera. So when you're shorting a stock, you have to pay almost like a rental fee to short it.
Okay, so this is something that really has not been discussed nearly as much as it should. I'm an expert in this stuff because I literally battled against short sellers. My entire firm was based on a long, protracted battle with shorts because I was inflating stocks.
And they
the
were trying to
shorts would come in
short
and
you.
try to
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was
okay.
constant. They tried every trick in the book, and I squeezed them many, many times. The problem is the shorts are very, very clever, and the brokerage firms are so corrupt that so normally, see, the way it really works is there's only one way you can really. There's two ways you can short a stock legally. One is if you borrow the stock. So you have a margin account, and then you borrow the stock. So they have what's called stock loan departments. And stock loan is a huge business on Wall Street, very profitable, where they lend people stocks that they charge fees for that. And that's why it's, and the firms will break the law. They break every law to do stock loans. It's that profitable. It's massively corrupt, right?
Yeah.
That's number one. So you borrow the stock and then you short it through a margin account. That's one way. The other way, the exemption is through a market making account. In other words, you're a market maker on NASDAQ. As a market maker in the normal course of business, you're allowed to be long or short in your position as a normal course of just being a trader in the market. As a proprietary trader. You're not allowed to be naked short as a customer. It's against the law to be naked short. But what they do is the brokerage firms allow people like these big funds to skirt the law and stay naked short through what's called prime brokerage accounts and other accounts. They just allow them to do things they should not be doing. And then what happens is they also steal stock out of accounts that should not be, stock shouldn't leave. Because you cannot take stock out of a cash account, only a margin account. But what happens is that they will take these stocks out anyway. These firms are terrible. They take stocks out and they illegally lend them out to the short sellers, and it's on and on it goes, and it's a vicious cycle. You try to. I had times when my stocks, 200% of the stock was trading. They're short two times over, and yet they should be being bought in, as the phrase goes, but they're not, because the clearing firms are corrupt and they don't buy in the shorts. They're in cahoots with them. That's what's going on.
So in other words, people are shorting, or they shorted more stock than there actually was.
Let me explain. When you short a stock, you don't own that stock.
Right.
Well, guess what? On a few days later, you have to settle the trade.
Yeah.
Well, you have to deliver stock to make settlement. You have physical. Now, it's no longer physical, but it's physical delivery through what's called DTC. It's electronically, physically delivered, right? But what happens is that if you haven't bought, the only way you can have it is if you borrowed someone else's stock,
right,
and you delivered borrowed stock, right? But that's not what's happening always. They're allowing this to happen because what will happen is you'll have on any given moment, you'll have what's called fails to receive and fails to deliver. So the person that naked shorts the stock has a fail to deliver. They haven't delivered. So on settlement date, they're like, where's the delivery? So then they give you a day to deliver the stock. But then they don't actually buy the person. The firm doesn't buy that person in. It's a very rigged game against the little guy. That's what's going on.
So in some way, when you are like an insider, so you know how like corrupt the business is. Obviously, you had some corruption in the way that you ran your business. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
So do you oftentimes feel like, why am I the example? Every one of these motherfuckers is doing something corrupt, and I'm here as the bad guy, and these other guys are skating off scot-free.
Well, listen, when I was in jail, right, I did 22 months. I used to say, I'm the only guilty man in Shawshank. Like, I don't, listen, I did some things wrong. I smuggled money to Switzerland, and I did my time, and whatever. I deserved to get caught. The fact that everyone else was breaking the same laws as me doesn't make what I did right. That's how I felt at the time. Like, I was not even nearly, every single firm was doing what I was doing. I was the biggest one out there, and I got caught and deserved to get caught. I went to jail, fine. When I started to say maybe I didn't deserve to go to jail was in 2008 when I saw like Goldman Sachs bankrupting Iceland and Greece, and I saw shit happening. I was like, what the fuck? I only lost some rich people money. Now, again, it's not right, but compared to what they did, I'm like a choir boy, and none of them went to jail. So yeah, it started to get a little bit maddening back in 2008 and after. At the end of The Big Short, there's a scene and all the bad guys went to jail. Haha, just kidding. No one went to jail. Yeah. And I was like, wow, I was sure they would crack down. But, one of the big problems on Wall Street and in politics, and I think what Wall Street bets is intuitively fighting against. It's maddening. Is this incestuous relationship between Wall Street and politics? So we have like the former head of Goldman Sachs is now the Treasury Secretary, and vice versa, and it goes on and on. And what they do is when they're in government, they create laws that have these wide loopholes that their buddies on Wall Street can jump through. And it's sort of this way where they create this rigged game. The laws are written in a way to squash the little guy and favor large institutions. And all you see with these politicians wave, oh, we're going to fit little guy, nonsense. The SEC is not for the small investor. They're out there to screw the small investor. They protect the larger firms. And it's just such an awfully terribly rigged grain. I was so gratified when the guys from Wall Street Bets said, I thought it was great. I was like, this is amazing. I wish I would have thought of it. I did.
And is the only thing that they did is just organize enough capital? Is that all Wall Street Bets was? Is like, hey, if we just connect enough people, we'll have enough capital to go up against the hedge funds?
Partially yes, partially no. It was the convergence of a bunch of different things. And I always said, guys, be really careful, because at the end of the day, you know, that stock is going to have to come flying back down to the earth.
Yeah.
Now, by the way, there are many people on Wall Street Bets that would curse me for even uttering those words.
Yeah.
Like,
Hold
there's
the
such
line, Jordan. Don't be a sellout.
And you know, and it's really, you know, there's people there, like I could support them and say he's an asshole. Like there's really zealots on that Wall Street Bets that, like, it's just anybody that has any sort of affiliation to institutions in general must be evil. So you could be on their side and they'll still hate you, right? So those people are just whatever. I don't care. They're just nuts, right? But for the most part, I think there's a culture there of distrust, and they deserve to have that culture. What happened was a convergence of events. So what you have is, at the same time that the power of social media is allowing people to connect in ways they could never connect before, you have platforms enabling people to trade in real time without heavy trading fees. So you put those two things together in the same spot and combine that with a general populist movement right now that we see spreading all throughout the country and the world in different shapes and forms. For example, you know, you could look back is what happened with Trump and say it was a populist revolt against what's going on with the big institutions. Like, I don't care. You could hate Trump, but I just want to screw over. It's like, it's a protest vote against Washington. Right? You could then say, and even when you hate Trump, as much as you could hate Trump, when they deplatformed him, you might, oh, yay. But in your stomach, you knew it was wrong. You knew it was wrong because you say there's something wrong when people can be silenced, and the First Amendment, it can be just stamped on like that. When you see big tech, people being worth $100 billion. I love Elon Musk, okay? I think he's a wonderful guy, but I think generally he'd agree with this, that when you see this concentration of wealth and Wall Street flying, like the Dow flying while America is suffering in a pandemic, when you see people locked down in their house and can't go out to restaurants, and Gavin Newsom is eating in the French Laundry, we take it on the chin, but in our stomach, it's evolving. So I think all of these things are connected into a moment of, like, there's a zeitgeist, an anger here.
Yes.
And when you put money into the equation like this, guess what? All of a sudden you saw AOC and Ted Cruz agree on something, then you know you really have something that's really strange going on.
Yeah.
So I think that's really, you're right, it's a populist movement in many ways.
Yeah, it almost feels, I was going to say that it is kind of parallel to what happened with Trump, where people were rejecting the political institution, right? And this feels like a rejection of the Wall Street or the banking institution. And the internet has given us this ability to kind of organize in a way that we've never been able to do before, and be like really precise with the way that we protest for things. So I do see those as the same way. Say what?
As was Bitcoin is in a similar vein.
So Bitcoin to me was the eye opener for the average person, because I think the average person just looked at the stock market and they were like, myself included, they're like, this is too complicated for me. I don't know anything about this. And then when you see Bitcoin, and you see Bitcoin going for, what is it, $40,000 or whatever a fucking coin, you're like, oh, this is worthless. Its only value is people believing it has value. And then you start going, oh, that's everything. Everything is valued by people believing it has value. So we can pump up AMC, we can pump up Nokia, we can pump up GameStop, we can do whatever we want. And then there's this great feeling of like empowerment for the average person because they realize value is not dictated by the elites, value is not dictated by institutions, value is actually dictated by the masses, and we are the masses.
And to that, I would like to ask. Sorry, if I can add a question onto that.
With that though.
Yo, sorry, Jordan. If I can add a question onto that, where does this go from here? If that's what we're realizing, this is this big revelation, then where does it go after GameStop, AMC, Dogecoin, whatever? Then where does it go?
There's a huge problem with the thesis you just laid out because you're right. That's what the connection people are making is that, but it's a false connection. And I'll tell you why. I started off when I first saw Bitcoin, I thought the technology was great. It was awesome. When I saw it run up to 17,000, 20,000, I was like, get out, it's going to crash. And I was almost right onto the day when I thought it was going to crash. I thought once it crashed, it would disappear and never come back. But it didn't. I was wrong about that. So I was right for the timing, but I thought it would just vanish, and it didn't. Why? Because enough people believed in it. Now, the difference between Bitcoin and GameStop is so huge and this is the mistake people are making. If you're trying to think that one relates to the other, it doesn't. There is a finite amount of Bitcoin that is out there and that can be created, and there are very complex, understandable models of how you create them, and it creates scarcity. There is literally no amount of GameStop that could not theoretically be issued. It's an endless supply of shares that can be printed, created. So it is not a finite situation. What Bitcoin was able to do, you truly have hit on one thing. It was simply supply and demand. If we think it's valuable, it's valuable. However, in GameStop, there's another reality involved here that if the stock stays high for too long, the company will start selling shares into the market to raise. It won't stay up. You can keep creating more shares. It's not Bitcoin. So that's why analysts are out there that do training and research and fundamentals because they look at there are certain rules of the game because it's all about supply and demand. If you have companies that just can create and print more shares, well, guess what? You're back to 1929 when they or even earlier when they screwed over Cornelius Vanderbilt when they just started dumping shares and they created. You've probably seen this in how the Men That Made America. This story how they screwed over Cornelius Vanderbilt. But it's printing shares of some railroad he had, and they cost the guy like $500 million back when $500 million meant something. But the point is, you could just keep creating shares of stock. So you need to be very, very careful when it comes to applying that same philosophy of it's just supply and demand. One has an endless supply.
Yes.
One is a finite supply.
Yes. And I'm sure somebody out there is like, well, yeah, there's all new different types of coins that pop up, and those coins can be competitive with Bitcoin, and maybe they can drive the cost of coin down because there is more supply, right? That you could make an argument for all this. All I'm trying to say is that I think people are starting to wrap their heads around this idea that like a sneaker is popular because we decide it is, or my girl likes a purse. That purse isn't worth anything. It's worth $30, but because Dior says it's worth $5,000, then that's the price. But we dictate that, not Christian Dior, not the app. What?
Remember one thing though.
Go.
The things that end up holding their value have limited numbers of them. This is a very important point.
Right.
There are two things that you need. There are two things that drive the market. I'm an expert in stock manipulation. I am. I know more about it than probably anyone on the planet. I'm not proud of that, but it's just true. And there are two sides to a stock manipulation, okay? Number one is you must create demand. Demand. What most people don't focus on is also the artificial withholding of supply. Why do diamonds have their value? The reason diamonds have value is because the De Beers withholds supply. They take supply off the market. If they were to actually flood the market with supply, diamond prices would crash. Okay? So it's not just about what you can create in demand. It's also how much supply is out there and can that supply be increased? I just invested in baseball trading cards recently but I know it's all based on, there's only 3 of these cards outstanding or 10 of these cards. It's all based on limited supply.
Is this the digital card?
They're worthless.
Is this the digital card thing that they just put out?
bought real baseball cards. A friend of mine, Dan Fleischman, has a store that sells cards.
Oh, no, they just released a digital baseball card, and what they're basically trying to do is like make a digital version of these trading cards, and people are spending like hundreds of thousands of dollars on them. It's crazy. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. And for whatever reason, these coins have used some sort of like sophisticated technology to make sure that there is a limited supply of these coins, right?
Yeah, you can't make more Bitcoin.
But you can, right? Can't you mine for them? Isn't there like a...
Yeah, but you mine you mine for gold. You don't make gold. You mine for gold, find the gold, and that's it.
Right.
So number one, there's a finite amount of Bitcoin that could ever be created, somewhere between 21 and 23 million. I'm not sure exactly what it is. And what happens is the mathematics behind mining is as you create more Bitcoin and the price goes higher, the mathematical computations are so much more complex and more difficult. The amount of energy it takes and time it takes. It's an incredibly clever technology. And I'm just absolutely shocked that the United States did not. My big fear for Bitcoin, just so you know, was never that the technology was bad. I always loved blockchain technology. My fear was that it's so cool and so great. How could the government that is so against money laundering or any other form of currency they can control, how would they let this go on? That's the part that always I thought was like, they could just clamp down on this and stamp it out, right? You know, maybe for all I know, it is the United States behind Bitcoin, for all I know, and they know where it all is. Who really knows?
Why haven't they?
I just said, who knows? It's not the United States.
They have to be, right?
I mean, who really knows? It defies logic to me that the U.S. that spent 20 years pressuring Switzerland and the Cayman Islands to give up everybody that had accounts. They just tried so hard to eliminate all ways to launder money that they're suddenly going to say, yeah, go ahead, just, use Bitcoin or this coin or that coin. And I'm not trying to even say that Bitcoin is just for money laundering, because it's not. Bitcoin is used by many, many legitimate people now as a storehouse of value. And the more people that believe that, the more true that becomes. There's things no one would deny that it does. The anonymity lends itself to also having some group of people use it for nefarious reasons. Now, that's true of any situation, anything in life. You always have good players, bad players. But it just seems like it would surprise me the U.S. would not have been more aggressive here. We'll see. Maybe they're involved in it, and we'll find out. That was the whole big joke the whole time. But who knows?
I mean, they have to, and I think that answers your same question earlier about the First Amendment. It's like if you see big tech squashing the First Amendment, right? Well, maybe it's not big tech. Like maybe big tech is allowed to do that because they're in bed with the United States government. And why would you be able to grow this big and have that much influence?
If you Google how the Wolf of Wall Street invented the internet, all of this stuff is because of believe it or not, all this stuff is because of me with Rule 230. This ability for platforms to act the way they do and say that they're not publishers. That was passed because of a lawsuit I won against an early platform. I sued one of the first internet platforms called Prodigy, and won a huge case against Prodigy back in 1994 or so. And this is before they had this rule, this Fair Practices Act. And basically, I won a huge judgment in the Senate. One of the senators saw this, and they passed this law 230 to overturn my judgment. So that's the way you see the internet operating right now is because of my case. They overturned it because of me. I won against Prodigy. You can Google it. It's on the internet.
So you created the internet and you got rid of Quaaludes.
No, Al Gore invented the internet. It's just a joke. If you Google it, I was directly responsible for the way these platforms operate. It was passed to overturn a victory I had against Prodigy.
So once you reach wait, did you come from anything? I'm trying to understand. Like you came from some money or nothing, right? So like once poor family. Okay. So when you start tasting the upper echelons of economic society in the first world, right? I'm just curious, what is that experience like? Do you start realizing that this is all a bunch of cronyism and these guys are keeping this for themselves and anybody else that tries to get in gets kind of pushed out? Or are they welcoming? If you could earn your keep, do they look at you and they go, all right, this guy's an earner. This guy can do it. He's part of the upper crust. What is that relationship? I imagine you're rubbing elbows with these guys, and I'm just curious, are you allowed in? Clearly you went to jail, but guys go to jail.
There's always, I have a lot of friends who are multi-billionaires, and there's always levels and then levels above and levels above and levels above. As you know, the old joke is everybody has a boss. Everybody reports to someone else. Everyone has to pick up a call for one thing and say, hey, can I do X, Y, Z? Even Jeff Bezos and even everyone has that.
Not
right?
anymore. Jeff is done.
Yeah.
What's that?
Jeff stepped down.
Well, he's still as I think it's not yet, but in June maybe, and then he's still be the executive chairman, which exerts huge influence as a shareholder of his size as the executive chairman. He'll still have huge influence.
Gotcha.
So I know the guy took over from the AWS division, but that aside, I do listen. I've been in the highest circles of both business and government before and after I had my issue back in 98. And listen, there is a lot of things that are simply they're built into the system to lock out the little guy. But at any moment in time, as you see, people break through. People are becoming billionaires every year. There's a couple of new people. And, the United States still represents this unbelievably upwardly mobile system of capitalism that allows people to get rich. And the problem is that there are certain aspects of the system. And I really believe that it's mostly based on two things in the U.S. The incestuous relationship between Wall Street and Washington, which is a disaster, and two, lobbyists. So those two things, and then combine that with no term limits, it's a recipe for disaster. And I think until those things change, not much good's going to happen.
I guess my question, I don't want to take too much of your time, but I guess my question for you is this, is that you hear all these people at the top talk about the glories of capitalism and the free market, right? And I'm curious if they treat the people who make it there on their own with that same respect, or if they operate kind of like a monarchy where they see a new guy come up and they're like, let's use our institutional power to squash him. Matter of fact, fuck that capitalism bullshit. That's just something that we sell to the poor people. We really just want to keep it amongst us and the boys. That's my curiosity. I wonder if they really live that life or they say that shit to keep poor people happy.
I don't think they look down at. I think that listen. I guess you have some people. It's probably generational wealth and the Rothschilds. Maybe there's some of that going on. But most people, if you look at most of the billionaires, a lot of it is newly minted money in the last generation or so. The richest people in the world, and unless they're not like you and I assume they're just like you and I. Okay, they're just like us. And a lot of the stuff that happens to people, some of it is luck. Some of it is, when I say luck, meaning like whether it's 5 billion or 50 billion. In other words, at some point, it's the industry, the niche that you were in. There's a lot of equally brilliant people that don't have as much money that are still very, very wealthy. So top level of wealth. Some of it is right place, right time. And there's lots of brilliant people. I don't think they look at people who break in as being less than. In fact, I'm sure they love that. And listen, at every level the same. If I'm worth X millions of dollars and I see someone, I'm like, I want that. I'm rooting for that guy to make it because good for them. And I see myself in that person. You would have to say human nature would reverse itself at the tippy top. I don't think that's so at all. But what you do have, I believe, is you have some people that are not respected, like a Donald Trump. Like, I don't think other billionaires very much respected Trump because in their mind, the way he made his money wasn't really like, what is he, a celebrity? Did he really make it in real estate? What's his real net worth? And there's valid things. And there's a lot of questions like, why wouldn't he release his taxes? Well, obviously, because he probably wasn't as rich as he was saying he was. There's no other reason why he wouldn't release his taxes. But that doesn't mean he wasn't a great politician and a great, person to catalyze a movement. You could hate the guy, love the guy, but there were some things that obviously appealed to many, many people, and his policies themselves were helping the country, I think. But he was a terrible communicator.
So I have a question based on that. You said you don't think there's like an old boys club, which seems valid, and there's a certain degree of criminality that permeates this entire world. Why do you think you were the one that got taken down?
I'm not the only one. There's many. Milken got caught.
Okay.
And Milken, was right before me, and Milken
But-
and now he's back in the midst of the whole thing.
He
So,
didn't get any
it's not
pussy,
just
man.
me.
Jordan, you got too much pussy, bro. Just call
That's-
it what it is, man. You got too much
What's that?
you got too much pussy, bro. If you weren't out there with the girls on the planes, nobody would have said shit. You got to be one of these hedge fund dorks out there typing away at the
In
computer
the
the whole time.
shadows, jerking off.
Exactly. Losers don't go to
There's
jail.
no doubt. There's no doubt that there was aspects of my personal life that are very deeply offensive because I was also very young and with all these models and doing all this insane stuff that made me stick out like I was a poster child for like excess
Yo.
young wealth and success. Yeah.
I'm curious, what if the powers that be got together and they were like, this guy's gonna fuck it up for all of us? You were like a flashy mobster, you know what I mean? You were like Gotti in a way, and they were like, listen, if people know that this is our life, this guy's out here banging chicks on planes and doing quaaludes and snorting coke and doing those other, he's gonna think that's what we all do. We gotta get him out of here.
Or call attention to the foul shit we're doing.
Yep,
This is
that
the guy that's
true. You wore the
flaunting it.
coat. You're what is it, Frank Lucas?
American Gangster, Frank
the American
Lucas.
Gangster, Frank
Yeah.
Lucas. You wore the fucking mink to the fight. You shouldn't have worn the mink to the fight.
The one thing you guys are not listen. Some of that, of course, like I know you guys are somewhat kidding, but some of it's true. But also,
I'm 100%
remember
honest.
this: there was no social media back when I was doing what I was doing, so it wasn't like everybody could see that. There was articles in the newspaper. Mostly, what was really my biggest mistake was that if you picked up the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal on any given day, 3 out of the 5 biggest gainers or losers were stocks that Stratton was involved in. And that was what really tipped everybody off. And also,
You got
the
greedy.
short sellers. It was the short sellers that called the regulators on me. It was the short sellers that started the investigations into my firm. It was all my battling with the short sellers. They were the ones that were causing investigations to start.
You got a name? You want us to handle something for you? I'm just saying. I'm saying we're down here in Miami with machetes, Jordan. It's not a problem for us, bro.
Sorry, one more question. What do you think the future of Wall Street Bets is? Where does it go from here with these people? Like, it seems like they can kind of control the market with this massive Reddit thread. What do you think the future is with Wall Street Bets?
I think they're going to keep going on. I think that what you're going to find here is that the people that are the hot money that came in at the end that wasn't really committed to what they're doing will probably, will die out with as soon as there's like Wall Street's really good at closing these gaps and inefficiencies. So I think they'll be a lot more careful of creating these opportunities that are so easy, like GameStop, where someone could recognize it. So I think that Wall Street Bets will continue on. There'll be a big following. They'll have to adapt, be more careful, and also choose a better person than Robin, a better company than Robin to do their trading for them, because that is not the right platform.
Oh yeah, before you go, can you just tell us what you think happened there? What do you really think the reason why Robinhood stopped allowing people to trade, or at least buy? Was it buy or sell?
Bye.
Bye.
Buy GameStop.
Buy. Yeah, so when the first day it happened, I immediately came out in defense of Robinhood because there are definitely things going on that would cause Robinhood to have to take some protective actions.
Right.
In other words, they were going to run out of net capital.
Yeah.
They have huge liability if the stock crashes.
Yep.
But the measures that they took, I thought, were draconian and led me to believe there was other things going on as well, probably a bit nefarious, like getting pressure from institutions to shut this stuff down because they didn't like it. They did not have to stop trading altogether. They could have what's done called increase the margin requirement, make it more expensive or more difficult to borrow the stock, to buy the stock. And that alone would have done a lot of what they need to do to get back into ratios. So I think you're going to find there was both things going on. They were certainly acting to protect themselves against any net capital violations or losses if the stock crashed and they got caught with losses. But also, I bet they were under pressure as well from these large hedge funds to not allow this type of what they consider to be collusion and manipulation, which is pretty funny. It's pretty rich from them, considering that all day long they're colluding, manipulating stocks on Wall Street. So you got to laugh at that one.
100%. Yeah, that's what I think. Maybe it's a little bit of both, right? Maybe they ran out of money,
Exactly.
and then maybe there was a little bit of a nudge from Citadel. Is it Citadel that kind of?
Correct. Yes. And by the way, if there's even one email that exists or a text that insinuates that there was pressure, oh my God, like it's going to be jail time, or certainly, I mean, someone's going to jail, because I hope, listen, I won't even say what I hope or not, but the point is, if that exists, wow, that's a big problem for Robinhood.
Really?
Oh yeah, because if they will, let's think what they did. If they're getting pressure and they
Yeah.
act to shut down the trading of stocks, that's flat out manipulation.
Yeah.
They're actually causing a market to fall. They're going to be sued. Either way, they're going to get sued, but they're going to get sued by every single person that made money, lost money, whether they had an account at Robinhood or not. I mean,
Right.
There's going to be so much legal paper flying around Wall Street these next few months. We'll see what happens.
Now, Vlad, well, you've been to jail. You did 22 months in jail. Vlad, with that, long hair and, creamy skin, how does he last in jail? Do you think that they come for his cheeks first? What do you think? He's an effeminate looking boy.
He can always become someone's wife, and it's not a big deal. But not, listen, in all seriousness, if Vlad ever goes to jail, and I don't wish that on anybody,
Right.
I really don't. Okay,
Yeah.
but the type of jail he would go to would not be the type where people are getting butt fucked by Bubble. Let's just say it ain't that. It's more like country club jail.
Is that where you went?
Where
Country
he
club?
went. He was locked up with Thomas
last
Chong.
scene in the
I went
movie,
to a
tennis court.
I was very fortunate where I went, so I can't complain
Son,
about that.
Nobody tried you? Nobody tried you in jail?
Thomas
not-
Chong
let's just say
changed
I
this
went-
guy's
let's
life.
say
He was
if I
locked up with
dropped a
Cheech and
bar of
Chong.
soap-
Oh, shit.
If I dropped a bar of soap in the shower, I wouldn't be any more frightened, except if you two guys were together and one of you dropped the bar. It was no better or worse
I'd
than
fuck
that.
you, dog. Don't get it twisted. I'd fuck you straight up.
I'm watching you, exactly.
I'm just saying, the skin looks good. Your skin looks good. You don't look like you've been stressed. Is it Botox? What's going on?
Exactly.
It's too good.
Nah, just it's the fountain of middle age, I've found,
Fountain of middle age. Okay, well, I'm going to short that stock. All right, Jordan, thank you so much, man. Tell them where they can find you. I know that you got your podcast. Do your drops.
You got it. Take care, guys.
Okay. Cheers. All right, guys. Welcome to Miami, baby. We're here. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Obviously, we're going to be back for Patreon Friday, and we will see you there. Patreon.com/FlagrantSue. Thank you so much. These motherfuckers over at, what was the patron? All gas, no brakes.
Yeah.
They bumped us out of the top 5. Now we're 6, so we can't let that shit happen. We're not going to let people do us like that. Are we going to let people fucking do us like that? Hell no. So we're coming for their necks with machetes. Okay? We're in Miami, coming for necks with machetes. We're going to show you all gas, no brakes. Honestly, the guy makes good content, so I fuck with him. But still, we're coming for that top 5, and then we're coming for that number 1. Go check that out right now. Thank you so much for listening. We love you. We appreciate you, and thank you for following us down south. God bless.